Okay, from the Premier League chaos to an European showdown, no one saw coming. The two clubs stepped in history, drowning in inconsistency. Now face off on this grand stage in Bilbao. This is the battle of the consistent, inconsistent duo. Manchester United, currently 16th in the Premier League, have stumbled their way here with the kind of chaos only they can deliver. Tottenham Hotspur just a step below in 17th, are flirted with relegation, but tonight the flirt with immortality. The first ever winners of this competition, Tottenham Hotspur, are desperate to lift it once more over 50 years on. Forget the league table, forget the turmoil, because tonight one of these falling giants rises again. This isn't just a final, it's a plot twist only football can write. Manchester United Tottenham Hotspur in Bilbao under the lights of the iconic Estadio San Mamés. Let the beautiful game begins on tonight, and now it's a warm welcome to Premier Sport Fan Center for the live commentary coverage of the UEFA Europa League Final 2024-2025 season. My name is Adeyem Shegun, and I'll be your host for what promises to be a night of drama, defiances, and destiny. But I'm not alone in the studio to do justice to this commentary and watch along for the next 90 minutes or beyond, which might extend into 30 minutes of extra time and possibly penalty shootout should we not get a winner on the 90 minutes. The Doc is also present in the studio. Good evening, the Doc.
Good evening, Shegun, and good evening, viewers. It's so glad to be here tonight, and I think this is going to be. I hope it's going to be a wonderful experience. It's the Europa Finals for 2024-2025 football, and right now we have United facing Tottenham, and as my host has already introduced, these are failures in their Premiership positions. They really failed on their league table, sitting on 16th and 17th position, which is just next to relegation. And in fact, this is a record failure for United since 1991 or 1992, thereabout. And they are in the finals of Europa. What an irony. So we expect to see a good match. Hopefully, the fight of the week, and hopefully the week will entertain us tonight.
Okay, let's wish all this week aside. We entertain us here. It should be entertaining football. Looking at the way Tottenham Hotspur manager, talking about Postly Astetoglu, the way he puts his boys, he's never scared of playing attacking football. And also Ruben Amorim on the side of Manchester United is also an attacking minded manager, though the goals might be hard to come by for him at his club. But let's see if we are going to be getting a goal feast tonight in the Europa League final. Who is going to replace Atlanta as the champions of the Europa League, which is the second of FIDU competition in Europe, just after the UEFA Champions League? And tonight, one of them, Manchester United or Tottenham Hotspur, will be booking a spot into the UEFA Champions League through the back doors. Who is it going to be tonight? Is it the 16th place Manchester United or the 17th place Tottenham Hotspur? The boys are on the pitch, ready to go out against each other for the first 45 minutes in this encounter. It's a filled stadium, filled capacity right there, and the stadium is so energetic and electric there. And let's see how the boys goes for the next 90 minutes. But we have to talk about how these two sides gets to the final. But let's start with Manchester United. For United, it's been a season of turbulence on and off the pitch, manager uncertainty, inconsistent performance, injuries, and tactical confusion. Yet somehow they found a way to show up in Europe. This final is not just a chance for trophy; it's a shot of redemption for Manchester United and Ruben Amorim. We saw the dramas, from moving from Eric Ten Hag to Ruben Amorim. So Manchester United fans have argued that yes, that's change during the course of the season is one of the reasons why they find themselves in this turmoil.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, because it seems ETH had a better hold on the team before Amorim came. Possibly Amorim confused the team and tried setting up a new pattern, which this group of players can play. And they have consistently, because it's unlike United to not win in 6 consecutive matches. No win at all, just 1 draw and about 5 losses. And that's really sad, kind of United we had before Amorim will still win, lose, thereabout. Out of 36 league matches, they could possibly have won 15 or 16, and then maybe lose like 10, 11. But here, they lost 18 matches and won only 10 matches.
why they've been poor when it comes to the league, matches. They've actually played out on a beaten run in the Europa League down to the final, winning 10 and playing out or draw 5 times,
I think draw 5 times, winning
and
how
they
many?
won 10.
10 matches. Well, I think for them, they possibly had a lucky run playing teams that weren't looking at their jugular, weren't able to get their Achilles point, or they were just lucky because the performance on the home terrain and even in FA or Carabao didn't actually signify qualify. They were match worthy for this kind of event, Europa finals. But they possibly had a good run and they had a lucky run, and they're here. So it's not something. In fact it's something that is amazing to the football world. Most of the football analysts I know all over the world are absolutely, I mean, odd. They are just surprised. Everybody's like, what happened? Tottenham and United in the finals of Europa. This is supposed to be the second stage of elite football in Europe, and here are the 16th and 17th who didn't make any particular performance, any particular interesting thing in their local leagues and in their local cups. So how did they get here? So it's a surprise to the whole world, but somehow I don't know. We are stunned.
Yeah, we are all stunned from the chaos to chances Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur taking to get themselves into Bilbao's final of the Europa League. And talking about Tottenham Hotspur, it's a shot at history. Tottenham Hotspur, the first ever winners of the competition back in 1972, haven't lifted the European trophy in over half a century. Despite flirting with relegation in the league, they've been ruthless in Europe and disciplined and dangerous and daring. This is more than the final, and it's looking like a legacy defining moment for Tottenham Hotspur should they win this Europa League.
Yeah, I think it will actually be a worthy impetus for Tottenham Hotspur to come out tops here, get something. They haven't won any trophy in 17 years, and they haven't got this trophy or anything in Europe for 70 years thereabout. So this will be a very good impetus for them. It will be an encouragement for the whole team, boardroom as well as the dressing room, and it will raise their hope also if they qualify for Champions League via this means of signing in, great players, top players, and top coaches into their team. So
Your eyes will be on Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United, and also on the side of Tottenham Hotspur. There's no their talisman tonight. Talking about Heung-min Son, he was only good enough to be on the bench, so all eyes will be on the top man striker Dominic Solanke for Tottenham Hotspur tonight. This isn't just about silverware; it's about pride, it's about European respect, and for both sides, it's potentially the only bright spot in an otherwise forgettable domestic season for these two sides. So it has kick-started already in Bilbao, and that game is already in the 5th minute. And it's Manchester United who has a corner kick, and talking about the talisman, the captain himself, Bruno Fernandes, the Portuguese midfielder, will be swinging in this corner kick for Manchester United in the 5th minute of this encounter. Manchester United are done in their own attire, talking about the red and the black shots in this one, while Tottenham Hotspur are playing an all-white lily jersey in this encounter. Manchester United coming out brightest in the early stages of this encounter, creating chances against Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah, might just be a chance for Manchester United with this break for the first goal, and into the box. There's still Ahmad in possession of the ball, but took a weekend deflection of his Manchester United teammate, and the Tottenham Hotspur will be breaking out right now, and they're soaking the pressure, but Manchester United are taking the pressure to them in the early stages of this encounter. Mason Mount with the ball there. That is a player who is used to winning them trophies when he was at Chelsea, won the UEFA Champions League, and was a pivotal part of that Chelsea side. Manchester United injuries have not really let them see that talent in that young man. Luke Shaw with the ball there for Manchester United. The England left back returning back into the heart of defense, where he finds Harry Maguire, who at a point was almost being pushed out of the doors of Manchester United. But fortunately for him, he forced himself back into being one of the most important players for Manchester United. We are straight into the 6th minute. Vicario almost dashing out Manchester United. They go earlier on there, but Ashland couldn't get a good touch on that, but that was one of the biggest chances for Manchester United early in this game, which I expect the captain there, Bruno Fernandes, to be taking a shot as early as possible. Tottenham Hotspur still trying to find their feet in this encounter. Manchester United hoping to capitalize on their good form coming into the early stages of like a house on fire.
Yeah, well, Manchester United, well, based on the for the culture tradition, they show a very good reason. In 2021 or 22, they won the Europa League, and so they actually believe
I
they're
think
the
2021, they
favorites.
lost 2021 to Villarreal. They
And
won around 20.
okay, they won in
17
2017.
or 16, yeah.
Was
Jose Mourinho
I
was
think
the
it was
manager.
Frankfurt. I am mistaken. Frankfurt won it in 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, so United has got it like 8 years ago. They believe they can do it again, and United, for their culture, tradition, they're one of the biggest clubs in Europe. They are one of the most profitable clubs in Europe. In spite of their dipping forms, they are still top five in terms of revenue earning in Europe. When you take out Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, the next club you're going to pick is Manchester United in terms of resourcefulness and revenue earning. So the United team is actually the favorite here. But a lot of people are against them winning the trophy. I've talked to a lot of people. In fact, I listen to so many analysts and commentators on radio and TV, and they will prefer Tottenham to get it and let them have something to take home and be proud for so long. We haven't seen Tottenham handle any trophy in over 2 decades or so.
Okay, talking about Manchester United, the last time they won the Europa League was the 2016-17 season under the legendary Jose Mourinho. And back to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana for Manchester United, holds on to that and finds out the young enterprising Lenny Euro there. Euro comes forward with the ball for Manchester United, but chose to go back to his goalkeeper, Andre Onana, who has been known for his inconsistency in the Manchester United goal post. This is looking at the Tottenham Hotspur starting 11. Is Vicario, who is the goalkeeper, Poro at the right back, Romero is the standing captain for the normal captain. Sorry, talking about him, who is on the bench. Mark van der Veen is the spear in the heart of Tottenham defense, and at left back we have Udoji. In middle of the park we have Bissouma Pierre with Bentancur. While up front is Brazilians Richard Lisson, Pepe Metasa, and Brand Johnson. While it's a Loma striker, an English man up front, Dominic Solanke for Tottenham Hotspur in what look like a 4-2-3-1 formation for Tottenham Hotspur. Here might just be a first chance for Tottenham Hotspur, but easily defended there by Manchester United. Mazauri, so it's going to be a corner kick to Tottenham Hotspur right there in the 9th minute. And also talking about Manchester United starting 11, it's a 3-4-2-1 formation for Manchester United. Andre Onana is the goalkeeper. A back three of Lenny Euro, Harry Maguire, and Luke Shaw. In the middle of the park we have Mazauri, Casemiro, Bruno. Along on Premier Sports Fan Center tonight is a double game. One is the UEFA Conference League Final between Chelsea and Real Betis, and we also have the Jollof Derby coming from the Unity Cup. Let's just hope this unites these two nations, Nigeria and Ghana, playing tonight. That is going to be the first game we're going to start with on our commentaries and watch along program. That game is coming from the Brentford Community Stadium. Super Eagles of Nigeria against the Ghana Black Stars. Though the big boys are not in this encounter, but I have the big boys in the studio here to do justice to all these games up tonight. Starting from my far right there is Yemite. Yemite, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Another day to talk national team football, to tag along with the Conference League Final. I promise to be an exciting day. We can't wait to see what football has in stock for us today.
Okay, so we can't wait to see what football has in stock for us tonight. And you have to enjoy this encounter. Though I don't really expect much from the Super Eagles of Nigeria, but it's always bragging rights whenever they play against the Ghana Black Stars, and it's always a pleasure seeing the Super Eagles on our screens, playing. And also have with me in the middle, to my middle here, Paulo. Good evening, Paulo.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for having me. Like you might said earlier on, it's always a pleasure, coming here and match with Nigeria taking on Ghana, and like you rightly said, Jollof Derby, and there's always pride in it whenever we play the Black Stars of Ghana. Though some of the big boys are not involved, but it's still a top match, and irrespective of the age grade, nobody wants Nigeria to lose to Ghana. We rather lose to Togo than Ghana. So it's promised to be a exciting one. So I expect the Super Eagles to get the job done.
Okay, let's see if the Super Eagles will be getting the job done. Just like Jamaica, the Reggae Boys of Jamaica did it against Trinidad and Tobago yesterday night. They had to leave it late. Yes, at the point they were leading 2-0, but Trinidad and Tobago came back to level up matters at 2-2. But a late penalty at the 94th minute sent the Reggae Boys of Jamaica to the final of the Unity Cup. So they are waiting whoever is winning between the Black Stars of Ghana and the Super Eagles of Nigeria tonight to see who is going to join them in the final of the Unity Cup. And don't forget, a friendly reminder to our viewers that it's a commentary and watch along based program. So there's no live views of that game, but we are in the studio to give a minute by minute analysis of what is going on in that game between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Ghana. Yeah, mate, it's not a full, strong Super Eagles of Nigeria for Eric Chelle tonight. There's no Victor Osimhen. He has on club duties. There's no Ademola Lookman and the like starting in this game. But one
Club duties or transfer duties?
no club duties. Still have one more game to play with what's called
Ghana.
Galatasaray. Yeah. So we bought. The interesting thing is we have about 4 MPFL players who are starting this encounter.
Yeah, it's a lesser, not that strong team list like the usual Super Eagles team list you find, but there are still players that can don the colors and represent the Super Eagles very well. Indeed, is in the lineup, Bali and Co. So I think that it will still be a quality match to see, and quality on display. And talking about Seaman, and I think that even the Gala last game, it was not on the team list, and I don't think it will be on the team list for the. I think it's just trying to cover up so that it doesn't get injured.
I
It
think
will
the
be
game
on
is
the
this
transfer
weekend,
market.
so probably they can't release him for this
Yeah.
encounter. And also on the Ghana side, Paulo, there's no what's it called? Kudus. There's no Mohamed Kudus playing for the Ghana side. I think he just has to be with the EPL just finishing. But we have Jordan Ayew starting in this game for the the Ghanaian side in this encounter. What are your expectations coming into this encounter between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Black Stars of Ghana?
Well, I expect a good game. Whenever Nigeria and Ghana meet, it's always a tough match. It's a derby, the Jollof Derby. It's a battle between both teams, and expect a good game. Looking at the Ghana starting lineup, like you said, some of the key players also are not there, including the Arsenal man, talking about Thomas Partey, and it might be as a result of the season just finishing. And to me, I think it was even too early. They could have waited at least maybe 2 or 3 weeks before having this tournament. But having said that, I still expect a good game from both sides.
Okay, so we expect good games from both sides in this encounter. Talking about the Unity Cup, and this is the semi-final. It always starts from the semi-final, and any moment from now, the players are on the top, and we'll be expecting a kickoff from that game between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Black Stars of Ghana. Yeah, we saw the Super Eagles of Nigeria got to the final of the last AFCON, though they didn't win it. They were one shot of it, losing to the host nation in the final, Ivory Coast. But after that, the World Cup qualifiers, it has really been, a bit shambles for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Yeah, I think they would take responsibility for, especially NFL, for where the Super Eagles has been right now. It was a performance in the Nations Cup whereby you feel like, oh, they got to the final, but if you look at the way the route they went through, is not really that convincing. And for you to build on that, there's not really a foundation to build on. So they needed to rebuild, and they started bringing different names that shouldn't be at first. And the disaster has happened, and most likely it looks like the Super Eagles is not going to the US World Cup.
Well,
As it is.
there's still chances. There's still opening for them. You know,
The
if they don't make it
chances
through
is
the group stage, they
extremely
can still
slim.
go through the what's it called, the playoff
playoff.
round.
But
Yeah.
if you check the playoff, is
It's
I
even
think
more
best
harder. It's
loser.
more harder than
It's best loser.
I think second.
To me, I think they will likely finish second from this group.
And if they finish second, out of all the second, I think they'll still be best loser.
No, they play playoff.
Like-
they
No,
play
there's a playoff.
within
I think
Africa.
second.
Within
Yes,
Africa,
within Africa.
then-
The winner from the playoff goes on to play against the Oceania and wherever.
So,
pass. It's
so
even a other route than qualifying first. But there's still a lot of openings. You know, the South Africa, there's a possibility of them getting 3-point deduction.
Deducted.
So
But
it's,
I
they'll
d-
just
I
be-
doubt
that
if
will leave
that
them-
will
No, I
happen.
think it's going to happen. I think
But
like,
it
it's
should
70%
happen.
it's going to happen.
I think it should happen. And if it happens, that means they'll be 3 point ahead.
Yeah.
And if Nigeria can defeat them at their home
But
ground,
you know the problem right now is that the remaining opponents for South Africa are all playing their home game right there in South Africa. Lesotho, talk about Zimbabwe, and talk
they've
about
played Lesotho already. That's where
Yeah.
this issue came up. That
No,
they fielded-
I think
it
they
means
have
the
a res- I
return
think they
leg.
have a return leg with
About
Lesotho.
2 or 3 of those
Yes,
teams,
they are playing
their
their
home
home
games are being
right
played
there
in
in South
South Africa.
I know that. I'm saying it's okay. They've played Lesotho first. They've played one of the two, both legs.
No,
If I'm not mistaken. Yes,
I think that's
no.
Lesotho. Because Nigeria
it
plays
Lesotho?
Zimbabwe home and away already.
Have they played? Okay, they've played Benin.
It's Benin Republic,
no
yeah.
man away, yeah. Benin.
Okay, yes, we'll leave the World Cup qualifier for World Cup qualifier to do itself, and we hope the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be making a return to the Mundial Sports, Mundial Football Festival that will be coming up in the United States of America, Mexico, and also Canada. You don't want to miss that because you look at the number of Nigerians who are concentrated in these countries. They will really want to have a feel of their Super Eagles of Nigeria. The game has kick-started. Nigeria playing from the left of our screen, donning their all-white jersey, while the Ghanaians are playing in their traditional all-yellow jersey tonight. Yes, let's see. It's a night for bragging rights between these two sides. And looking at the Super Eagles starting 11, it's 4-3-3 from Eric Chele tonight. Is the first choice goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali in defense. We have Bruno Yemeachi playing as a left back. Ismaila Sadiq of Remo Stars playing as a right back. Igor Ogu and Semi Ajayi both pair together in the heart of the defense. While in midfield we have Niger Tornadoes, Papa Daniel, Franco Yeka, and Wilfred Ndidi. Up front is that man from Rangers, the highest goal scorer in the Scottish League, Cyril Dissers, finally getting a shot at the Super Eagles starting 11, and he's been flanked by Samuel Chukwueze and also another Remo Stars player, Alimi Sikiru. But my problem right here is that Alimi Sikiru is a striker, but he's playing as a winger tonight. How is he going to cope?
Yeah, that's why many of the time they call them forward, because sometimes you have to play makeshift role to actually cover whatever the coach has in mind. And let's see, maybe he can do something special.
That was a cross from Alimi there, and it looks like a poor cross from me there. But Nigeria has a corner kick against Ghana there. It's Chukwueze who's standing on that, takes a short one and sends it into the path of his teammates. A cross into the box intended, but easily caught out there by the Ghanaian defender there, Mamadou, and his Nigeria back in possession. Sends it back into the hands of the goalkeeper. Stanley Nwabali rolls onto that from the Super Eagles of Nigeria. He's out of his box, and they'll be looking to send one into the middle of the park and finds his Nigerian teammate Franco Yeka, who I really love to see play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. It was really magnificent there with Frankfurt, just left to see if he will be completing a deal to that on German side from Brentford in England. Sadiq Ismail with the ball there, returns it into the middle of the park. The Super Eagles of Nigeria switches up position. Bruno Yemeachi with the ball there, and he goes onto the ball. Nigeria in the early stages of this encounter and enjoying the better share of possession. A long one there from Papa Daniel, but easily caught out by the Ghanaian side and straight into the hands of Mensah. Mensah goes onto the ball, beats the Nigerian guy, and coming forward with the ball there. Mensah still in possession of the ball, sends a long one, but that should roll out for a throw into the Ghanaian right there in the 3rd minute of this encounter. And spotting the jersey number 6 for the Super Eagles of Nigeria is Semi Ajayi, who has been released by West Brom, so he's without a club right now. With all this good performance with the Super Eagles, one would have thought, yes, probably he might get a deal with one of the EPL clubs.
Yeah, maybe. That's one of the things, the advantage playing with the national team we bring. And I think that is one of those players that should be getting more than what they are getting right now. The club they are playing for, I think it deserves better than playing in a championship side.
Okay, as I say, we'll be getting a deal to play in the EPL come next season. And also another Nigerian player who might be out of contract with his club has to be Ola, with Nottingham Forest. Then we're still waiting to see if he is going to sign a new deal, if Nottingham Forest are going to offer the Nigerian right back, who was actually one of the best right back in the 2024-2025
I
season.
think it will be in the team of the season. I stumbled on Michael Owen's team of the season today, and it was the right back preferred. And it's obvious. I don't think there's any other right back that can match what he did this season.
Okay, going straight to the Ghana starting 11. Here's a chance for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Will not take advantage of this to find himself in the box. A chance for the first goal. Oh, but that was easily defended there by the Ghanaian opponent there. What a good last-minute save there from Steven Ambrosius for the Ghanaian side. And that was the Nigerian striker there, Cyril Desas, who was set on goal there. But he couldn't get that off Razak Simpson, who lost the ball. And you can see the Nigerians asking probably for a penalty there. But I think that was a good tackle there from Razak for the Ghanaians. Oh, I think there was a tackle there. Let's see that again. Look at the way Razak crashed straight into the Nigerian. He actually brought Cyril down.
I think that should be a penalty.
That was actually a penalty, but I don't think the referee actually gave that as a penalty. Earlier on, we saw Ghana with their own, piece of skill against the Super Eagles of Nigeria, but that didn't materialize into a goal against Nigeria. The referee says that wasn't a penalty, or that was actually a fair touch on the Super Eagles striker, but it's Nigeria showing intentions in the early stages of this encounter. And right there, it's going to be a free kick to the Ghanaian side, and Igor Ogu was the one who gave out that infringement right there. Looking at the Ghana starting 11, the goalkeeper is Benjamin Asare. In defense, the 4-3-3 formation, just like the one the Super Eagles also set out in this encounter for Otto Addo, the coach of the Ghana side. In defense is Gideon Mensah, Steven Ambrosius, Aaron Ese, and Kamaradini Mahmudu. In the middle of the park, we have Razak Simpson, Selis Abdul Samad, and also Majid Ashiru. And up front is Christopher Bash, and the captain is an experienced Jordan Ayew. And also on the wing we have Kwame Opoku for the Ghanaian side in this encounter against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. It's going to be a free kick in the middle of the park for Ghana, but they have one player down there who looks like he's struggling to continue this encounter. And the sporting jersey number 21 is Silas Abdul Samad, who was brought down in the middle of the park there by the Nigerian midfielder there. What's it called? That was I think that was Papa Daniel who brought him down there, but he's back on his feet and ready to continue. The Ghanaian kick started play from a free kick, but straight into the hands of the Nigerian goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali straight into the path of his teammate Semi Ajayi. Semi Ajayi looks inward into midfield where he finds Papa Daniel. Daniel returns it back to the goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali. Nwabali will come forward with the ball for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Switches straight to the left where he finds Bruno Uyemachi. Bruno Uyemachi can be remembered for winning the league with Olympiacos in the Greek league there. Yes, Nigeria, coming out from the back, Sadiq Ismail, the Remo Stars defender, returns it straight into the path of Semi Ajayi. Semi Ajayi straight back to his centre back Pierre. Igor Ogu there. Ogu straight into the path of Bruno. Bruno straight finds the Nigerian striker there. Cyril Desas will find it hard beating his man there. And it's going to be another free kick to the Ghanaian. And you look at the way Cyril is actually losing, possession up front there. This is a game whereby he should be showcasing why he deserves to be called up to the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Yeah, he needs to convert his chances, because these are the kinds of games that will give him the opportunity to at least show us the stuff he's made of. Yes, he has scored a lot of goals with Rangers, but we need to see him do it for the Super Eagles. And also Boniface too. We need to see him to do
but
better.
Boniface is not in this game. I think he's still holiday.
And I think he should be. He's supposed to be in this game because he hasn't, really.
He also just finished the league.
He doesn't. But if others can also be there, he also, because look at Boniface, even for his
that
club.
should be the number of players called up.
He should have been called, unless maybe he's out in Georgia.
Reshuffle
we have almost a separate list for the game against Russia, which is a bit separate from this game against what's it called?
But even
Ghana.
on the two, Victor Osimhen is not featured.
Yeah, he's not. He might not.
That's
be
what
featured.
I'm saying. That I think it's because of the transfer, this thing that is going on. He needed to stay fit and stay injury free.
Okay, let's see where Victor Osimhen will play in next season. Where we'll be playing the straight next season is still very much an interest to his fans around the world. Will he be coming to the EPL, or will he be returning back to the Serie A? Will he be staying with Galatasaray in the Turkish Super League, or will he be going straight to Saudi Arabia for that big money?
It would be actually strange if Osimhen stays at Gala, Because at this point in time, imagine him scoring that 36 goals in Premier League or La Liga or actually Serie A. It would have mattered more than where he scored those goals. So I think that at this stage, 26 years old, almost getting to the peak of his career, I think that he should get into one of the top 5 leagues
Okay.
and do his thing.
Okay, beat to the grace from the game
But to
between.
you, which club do you think he will be
Yeah,
going
I'll
to?
prefer him going to Saudi Arabia. You have to go and make that money right now. It's
But
what really matters.
at this point in time, he can still make the money in his 30s.
Yeah, mate. He has won the league already. He has won the league with Napoli. He has won league
But
with.
he's yet to win Champions
He has won
League.
the league with Galatasaray. He has nothing to prove to anybody. It's not everybody in their football career actually wins the UEFA Champions League. So right now you just have to make the money. Duran was just about 22 years old when he left the EPL for the Saudi Arabia League.
You know, at
He
22,
can
he
always
can still play
I'm
3
coming.
years.
He can always come back to the European League. He can just
At
play
what
about.
age?
He's 26, like you rightly said. He can
Yes.
play 2 seasons in the in the Saudi Arabia League and come back to the EPL or wherever league in Europe. He's still within the peak years, so there's still a lot of years in his career. But if you're staying in Europe and you're not meeting that target, who says in the next 2 years you're going to have an offer which will give you about 700,000 pounds weekly? It's just about the money right now. Football is more about business these days. It's not about.
I think that he should at least next 4 years in Europe mainstream league. Then from his 30s he can go to Saudi.
700 is a lot of money to actually let's go.
But do you know that if he builds up and scores a lot of goals in the mainstream leagues, that 700 will be chicken change compared to what he will be offered?
Yeah, mate. It's hard in Europe to pay that amount of money.
No, what
Wait,
I'm saying
I'm coming.
is,
Even Kylian Mbappe is not earning up to 600 at Real Madrid, so it's
yes, I
really
know.
going to be hard.
Yes.
With what's it called? Mo Salah just got up to 450,000 pounds weekly. That is at gross salary due to his new contract he just signed with what's it called, Liverpool. So it's really going to be hard to get that total package he's actually looking for.
No,
in
what
EPL.
I'm saying is he can stay in Europe now, chase his career, then see if he can get, for instance, first season in the Premier League with the Premier League club.
Who is going to pay his money he's looking for?
No, what I'm
that is what matters.
what I'm
It's not-
saying is
it's not about him coming
no,
to
no,
the EPL.
no.
Who is going to
What
pay?
I'm saying is this: if he can lower his demand right now, come to the Premier League or even La Liga, score 30 goals. Look at, is it 700,000 they are offering Vini? That's what I'm saying. If you perform now 1, 2, 3 seasons in Europe, it won't be 700. They can be offering him 2 million.
including
A
Bruno
week.
Fernandes.
Do you understand what I'm
A week?
saying? See what
2
they are
million,
offering.
2 million a week.
Yes, look at what they are offering Bruno.
Bruno
Bruno that is in a club that
Bruno
is
is
going down.
700. No, you can't, because Manchester United are finding themselves at 15th position doesn't mean Bruno is not a quality player. He's a quality player. in the league.
But I understand what he's
He's
trying to say.
really-
But
So
same
he-
as Victor Osimhen,
Yes.
he has proven to be a quality player also.
He doesn't
And-
have to prove anything
and-
anymore at any club for him to earn wherever he deserves.
So
and that's
what
why I
I'm
like.
saying
That's
is
why I like the
this:
fact that
build
he's
your
not
ca-
reducing his wants. He knows what his value is. He knows his actual value. And if you can pay the actual value, go to where they are ready. Where they feel you are actually worth that actual value. That is what really matters in the game of football. Who says they can pick up an ACL injury tomorrow, which is career threatening? It can happen. This is football. You don't know your next
But
move.
I think he has been on that salary for 2 seasons now.
Which
He has
one?
been on that salary.
He has about 200, barely over 200 at Napoli.
No. It's the same salary that he's earning at
No.
Napoli.
Net is different. The way it works in
He's
EPL,
earning
I'm coming.
220 net.
The way it works in EPL is way different from the way.
No,
it
what
works
I'm
in-
saying is he
Yeah,
has
let
earned
us
that
digress,
salary.
let us digress
He
from that.
has earned that salary for 2 seasons back to back. Then he can chase more with his career. And see, look at JJ Okocha. He didn't get to
That was JJ
the
Okocha,
pinnacle
but this is not JJ Okocha.
because
He
of
can
this
make
same
the
money. This same
Yeah, my
money
friend,
they
let's
keep
digress.
looking
When we
for.
get-
He
when we
should
get
build
to-
his
And
career.
when we get to what's it called on Talksport on Friday, we'll talk more about that game of that of Victor Osimhen's contract. And you can also, our viewers can go into the comment section and let us have your view. Should Victor Osimhen reduce his amount? He actually asking amount. Should he reduce it, or we just pursue a better money going straight to the what's it called, Saudi Arabia
Pro
League? And also I'm talking about from Poland, the what's it called, the Conference League. Yes, where history wait to be written under the light. This is the UEFA Conference League Final. Chelsea versus Real Betis, a clash of legacy and longing Chelsea, a club soaked in silverware, are one step away from completing UEFA Ultimate Set. Champions League is done, Europa League twice of the conquered, and now they stand on the edge of a new chapter. No club has ever won all three, and behind them who have ridden the heights of European triumph and the confusion of recent seasons tonight, they believe again. On this other side, we have Real Betis, bold, beautiful, and backed by one of the most loyal fan bases in world football. Thousands over the Black Holes have made their journey singing, dreaming, living for the night for them. This isn't just about silverware, it's about pride, identity, and the chance to lift their first ever major European trophy. Cole Palmer, the cool kid carrying the Chelsea's on spark. Isco, the reborn minstrel, guiding Betis with elegance and fire from the streets of London to the soul of Seville. The noise, the nerves, the hope, it's all here. Two teams, two culture, one dream. It's Chelsea versus Real Betis. The night Europe crowns a new king in the Conference League. And talking about this game between Chelsea and the Real Betis, what are your expectations?
Yeah, I'm not expecting much. I'm not a fan of celebrating a Conference League final. But today, if Chelsea win, it's a bonus. If they don't win, I'm not moved. So it doesn't matter.
Okay, talking about the Super Eagles game. Beautiful cross there from Sadiq Ismail. The Remo stars into the parts of Cyril Dessers, who made no mistake putting that into the back of the net. Look at that invited cross there from the player there, straight into the other Cyril Dessers, and it looks like a penalty. Put that into the back of the net. Beautiful cross, no doubt, from the Remo stars right back.
Yeah, beautiful cross. He saw the man, picked him in the middle, and it was like a penalty finish.
And you can see what it means today. Rangers striker, he plays in Rangers in Scotland here, and was the highest goal scorer in the Scottish League. What a way for the Super Eagles of Nigeria to grab the first goal in that encounter. Straight also in that game between the Chelsea and Real Betis side. Paulo, you got to the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League, but unfortunately, that was the end of your journey. Unfortunately, that was the end of their journey.
Quite unfortunate.
In the UEFA Champions League. But tonight, Chelsea against Real Betis. What are you thinking?
Well, Chelsea and Real Betis, they are playing for the very first time in this competition, and they found themselves in the final. And I think, to be honest, I think both teams are the strongest teams in the competition, and both of them, they found themselves in the final. So I expect a good game. The game actually started, and I think Real Betis will be the toughest opponent Chelsea have played this. In this tournament, and the same thing for also Real Betis, and you can't write Real Betis off
is this
because you can look at this.
The first Fiorentina in the semi-final.
But Fiorentina are not much for Chelsea in terms of what Chelsea have achieved in time past, and I don't even think Fiorentina is bigger than Real Betis to me, because you look at Real Betis pound for pound, I think they are bigger than Fiorentina. But having said that, I think both teams will actually get a good game, because we've seen a lot of top quality players on the pitch.
Yes, Real Betis attacking against Chelsea. There is absolutely Abde with the ball there, cross into the box, a chance for Real Betis. And this is where they look dangerous. And Tony, one man who Chelsea should be used to, or who are familiar with, or playing formerly playing with Manchester United. This is another manager who has managed in the EPL. Manuel Pellegrini is the manager of Real Betis tonight. And let's see how that game goes. But it's straight into the third minute, and both sides are still sizing each other up. The Super Eagles of Nigeria won't go up against Ghana in that encounter. Yes, Nigeria picking up the ball in the middle of the park, tries to drop one up front for his teammate. The Super Eagles retains some possession and looks to attack against the Ghanaian, but also returning back into the part of Bruno Yemachi. Bruno straight up front to find his teammates, and still Nigeria in possession of the ball there, enjoying the better share of the ball possession right now. It's 18 minutes gone in that encounter, and yes, Chelsea attacking against Real Betis, and yeah, he's Cole Palmer with the ball, finds himself in the box. Signs a long shot one there, straight into the hands of the goalkeeper, Andrian, who releases straight for a counter-attack for Real Betis. But Chelsea almost regaining possession immediately. Referee says there was an infringement there, and it's going to be a free kick to Real Betis in the early stages of this encounter. Just 5 minutes approaching the 6 minutes in that game, and it's a free kick there to Real Betis against Chelsea. You might have seen about 5 minutes of action in this game, and one thing that promises in this game is going to be a big battle in the middle of the park between Moses Caicedo and Isco, the captain of Real Betis.
Yeah, it's going to be a big battle, but there's one thing you notice about Caicedo this season: it covers a lot of spaces, And
There's a
it's-
chance, still a chance for Manchester Spirit chance there into the box there.
Wow.
And right across there from Ezauli there, trying to get Bekambu onto the ball there, but the Chelsea goalkeeper Jorgensen to the rescue for Chelsea there. Chelsea will look to attack, and this man who is back tonight, Nicholas Jackson, with the ball for Chelsea, returns it back and finds Enzo Fernandez, and so straight onto the part of Madueke. Nani Madueke with the ball there. It will be a big runner there and run straight into his man there, cross into the box there. But Real Betis clears the lines against Chelsea right there, not the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Looking at Chelsea's starting 11 tonight, is 4-2-3-1 formation for Angel Maresca and his boys. Jorgensen is the preferred goalkeeper in the defense. Malo Gusto and Chaluba.
And the
We have the second goal for the
Nigeria.
Super Eagles of Nigeria. What a game. Semi Ajayi has just doubled the lead for the Super Eagles of Nigeria against Ghana. And it's going, it's looking like, how can I call it?
Support in your case.
It's not, you can't really say support in your case.
I think
Because
it's
this is just 20 minutes
But
into
it's
the game.
support in your
Anything
case.
can still happen in the game of football.
no.
You can
But
see, it
Anything
looks like
can
the
happen,
Ghanaians,
but at least
it looks
we
like
should
the
be
Ghanaians
ashamed
are
of
really,
ourselves
it looks
if
like
we-
that.
Ghana can come back 2 goals and take away this game from
Oh, that is
us.
game of football. You scored 2
I
in there,
understand
20
it's game of
minutes. They can
football,
always
but
come back.
at times I won't be happy if Ghana should come back, from 2 goals up.
But it's not a supporting law.
To me, it's support in law.
Okay, yeah, to you have a right to, to say that.
Or a
but
game of football, you can see the confusion
it's
on
a
the
derby.
face. Yeah, you
Anything
can see
can
the
happen.
confusion on the face of the Ghanaians players there. And let's just see if they will be coming back or if they can stage a comeback in this one against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Second goal scored there by the West Brom defender Semi Ajayi, pocketing that into the back of the net. Beautiful inviting cross there from the Super Eagles player.
Oh, it's an own goal.
It looks like an own goal, yes, but the Nigerian defender is actually claiming that as his own goal. But let's see, the goalkeeper, there was nothing he could do about that. But that is the second goal. That stands for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Nigeria 2, Ghana 0 from the Brentford Community Stadium. And I was talking about Chelsea starting 11. Jorgensen is the goalkeeper. In defense is Malo Gusto, Chaloba, Badashil, and Marco Correa. In the middle of the park, we have Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez. Up front is Pedro Neto, Cole Palmer, Madueke, and the Loma striker, Nicholas Jackson, starting for the Chelsea in this account. Looks like it's going to be a free kick for Chelsea there. The referee last place country here is a chance for chance for the first goal. And that is the first goal for Real Betis. And they've broken the deadlock against Chelsea in the 8th minute. It took them 9th minute. Beautiful goal there from Eze Zoli there. And to get Real Betis the first goal. What a way to open up the Chelsea defense. And what a way for them to get a well-deserved first goal.
Looking at the way Betis have been playing, maybe that from the left-hand side of the attack, the space there is always too much. You could see the way they've been floating the ball there. I thought maybe Chelsea have been thinking they'll be using the Anthony wing, but so far they've been using that, and I think the way Chelsea have opened in this game have given Betis a lot of chance to opportunity to take their chances.
Look
and
at that.
it
The
has
defense
been
was just too open there. And if
Too
there's one thing Betis knows how to
It's
do
too
best,
open.
is to open up the fence. And that's it. They've taken advantage of that.
You
Isco
know-
with the assist there.
You know, one
Beautiful
of the
pick-up pass
things
there
I
from
was
Isco.
thinking about earlier today is that if Chelsea wants to win, starting by their shield against Betis, because it doesn't meet up with the pace like that. And look at this, they've opened the defense up, 1-0 up. It's going to be difficult to come back.
Yeah,
And their
Exabi
Spanish
there
team,
talking
yeah.
about the Morocco
Update.
international
Morocco, yeah.
with the goal. He's a former
I think
Barcelona
he's still
player. I
on
think he's on
loan.
loan from
Yeah, he's
Barcelona.
still
Yes,
on loan from
a fantastic
Barcelona.
player. Barcelona might be looking
Not
to
sure if
retain
they
him
feel-
for next season. But Chelsea, who has conceded the first goal in that encounter under 10 minutes, and what a game we have at hand in this one. They will look to get back into this encounter. Jorgensen with a free kick for Chelsea, sends a long one. But looking at it, attacking wise, we've not really seen much from Chelsea in this encounter. It's one thing for you to play with intentions, and that is what we've seen from Real Betis each time they go forward against Chelsea.
No, I think Chelsea have actually, because if you look at this game, it has been played in a fast pace from both sides. You see them, sending the ball, and but to me, I think Real Betis, they've looked more, going forward. You could see what they want to do. Chelsea are still trying to.
Yes, might just be a chance for a second goal for Real Betis. Easily defended there by the Chelsea defender Malo Gusto. Caicedo in the middle there, juggling around,
Wow.
and Chelsea regaining possession. Referee says it's going to be a free kick for Chelsea there. Let's see if Chelsea will be coming back in this encounter. Back to the Nigerian game. Ghana trying to come back in this one and trying to half the deficit against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Oh, that was Nigeria attacking against Ghana there. But straight into the hands of the Ghanaian goalkeeper. And let's see if Ghana can also stage a comeback in this encounter. Just like Chelsea will be hoping to stage a comeback against Real Betis. Right in the 11th minute of that encounter between Chelsea and Real Betis. 1-0 up is Real Betis leading in that encounter. Exactly with the only goal, with the first goal in this encounter. What a way to send the Real Betis fans into wise jubilation. But it's still early in the game of football. They need one more goal or two more goals in this first half, to stand a real big chance of winning this encounter. But we've seen teams, also score almost in the early stages of the encounter and go on to win that game with just one goal.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, like I think is it Tottenham, Manchester United in the Europa League? Yeah, the goal was scored in the first half. But I think there will be a lot
the
of
last Champions League Chelsea won. The goal was scored in the first half, and Chelsea took it off.
Yes, Chelsea attacking. Cole Palmer with the ball there, drops it to Pedro Neto. Neto holds onto the ball there. He has two men against him, tries to drop it into the box there, but that was wastefully done there by the Portuguese winger, and it's going to be a goal kick. That was a Malo Gusto there, or that was a Pedro trying to play in Malo Gusto.
Yeah,
but that was actually a bad pass there from Pedro Neto. Straight is going to be a goal kick to Real Betis. Adrian, the goalkeeper, is going to pick that. And looking at Real Betis starting 11 is 4-2-3-1 formation for Real Betis. Adrian is the goalkeeper, in the back four of Sibali, Batra, Nathan, and Rodriguez. In middle, we have Cardoso, Fornes, and up front, Ezauri, the goal scorer, Isco, and Atoni, and the low-man striker, Bakambu, playing in this encounter. And Real Betis coming forward against Chelsea again. Isco with the ball there, drops it straight into the path of his teammate, but the goalkeeper this time around, Jorgensen, is going to gather this for Chelsea. Do you actually support Jorgensen starting this encounter for Chelsea?
Yeah, I think he should. He has done enough. We've seen him add a lot of good saves in this competition, and I think he deserves it. He has not been a shaky goalkeeper whereby you just be scared of starting him. He has done well, so I think he has he deserves his spot in the final.
Yes, Real Betis is going out again. What a shot there. But Jorgensen almost picked up his spot there. What a shot there from the midfielder Cardoso there.
They didn't come to play.
Really coming out against Chelsea. Batra with that inviting cross shot there. But the Chelsea goalkeeper Jorgensen actually parried that off, and it's going to be a corner kick to Real Betis. And this is where they look dangerous again from set pieces. And Isco will be the one standing on these set pieces and finds his teammate, returns it back to Isco, and still Real Betis in possession, drops it straight into the path of another teammate. A long shot there from the defender there, Sabali there, but that is not going to threaten Chelsea, and it's going to be a goal kick for Chelsea right there. We are currently trailing 1-0 as at the 14th minute of this encounter. You might come into this game, you said you were indifferent about this game.
Yeah, I'm so indifferent. I'm not moved. The normal way, you notice that the critique will start coming up. But I'm just indifferent about this because if you look at the presser, even Isco said it, the only thing Chelsea has more than them is just more money. And you can see
and I agree with him, because if you look at the players and the managers, they've got experience. To me, on this pitch, Isco is more experienced than any other player on the pitch from both sides, because he has been in the game for very
Chelsea. Long. Nani Madueke with the ball there, lost possession. And referee allows play to continue there. And Caicedo with a untimely shot there, easily won back by by Real Betis, who look to attack against Chelsea. As a free kick to Real Betis there. Badashiu giving out a free kick there. Real Betis will fancy the chance of slowing down play, and this is the man they have to contest against all through today. Talking about Isco Akaran in the middle of the park. The 33 years old still playing like when he came to play the under-17 right there in Nigeria in 2009 years, when he was representing the Spanish. He has been called back to the Spanish national team. So we'll be seeing what he will bring in into that team. And also in that game between the Ghanaian side and the Super Eagles of Nigeria, that game is already in the 28th minute. It's still 2-0 Nigeria leading. Courtesy 2 goals, one scored by Siri Disas in the 14th minute, and Razak Simpson, who has been withdrawn in this encounter due to injury, also scored the own goal for Nigeria's second goal in the 19th minute. He has been withdrawn in this encounter. Oh, okay. That was confirmation. He scored an own goal, not being withdrawn in this encounter. Yes, Real Betis coming out against Chelsea. Chelsea regains possession. Yes, Nani Madueke on the ball there, holds onto it and drops it back and finds Moises Caicedo. Caicedo finds Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez will look to approach attacking wise for Chelsea. Caicedo regains possession. Nani Madueke being tackled there by Sabade, and the referee says play on that. That was a fair challenge against the England international. Wow. It's going to be a long night. He's with the ball there. And drops it back into the midfield where he finds Fornes. Fornes switches wing and finds the goal scorer there. And Zauli with the ball there coming forward.
One thing this game will expose is how inexperienced the Chelsea side is. It will be so obvious because when you look at the arrangement, you see that Betis is more balanced and set up because they have a lot of experience in them, and it doesn't look like this board is going for experience. The only experienced striker I think they are linked to is Gakares. We can't say Sesko is a well experienced striker, but I think that even I was listening to John Terry earlier today, and he said the same thing about the experience. You can't undermine it. You need men that will tutor the boys when John go mature.
Okay, so let's see how that happens. And Ghana have been forced into making an early substitution in that encounter. We'll be getting confirmation of the player being withdrawn, but still 2-0 in that game. And we are in straight into the 30th minute of it. Nigeria 2, Ghana 0 as a 30 minutes.
Yeah, Nigeria 2, Ghana 0. And one Bali, we have a taste of the action right now. Who has been mostly quiet, and there's the blunder he almost committed. He now became the savior also at the same time, and it's going to be a corner kick.
I asked myself a question. Why was he blaming what's it called Ndidi for that?
No, in as footballers, you hardly want to take blame at first sight until you check the replay.
Because that was his error, not Ndidi's error.
Yeah, it was his error. It delayed too long. It was too comfortable on the ball.
And that was almost a chance for the Ghanaians to have
it would
the
have
deficit
cost
in this one.
it would have made this first half a pressure field ending.
Kopama find himself in the box there, almost losing possession, lost possession, but Chelsea regains possession. Pedro Neto with the ball attacking for Chelsea, and he has on that man who has come back to defend. He's still coming to defend there for Real Betis, and Chelsea back in possession. Moises Caicedo there, coming forward for the Chelsea side, and tries to play in Pedro Neto. Neto holds on to that. What will Chelsea make out of this? Still Neto in possession, returns it and finds Moises Caicedo. Caicedo approaching and drops it back to Badashield. This is where Chelsea needs to be careful with the number of bodies they are committing forward against Real Betis, and straight into the part of Nani Madueke, who finds the Spaniard Marco Correa, and Chelsea enjoying the better share of possession right now. And we have Real Betis who are trying to just be sneaky there. They are just hoping, when Chelsea loses this ball, they hit Chelsea on a counter.
And Chelsea is mostly exposed whenever they attack with the ball. And that was what gave back to that first goal. Look at this now. They are really exposed on the counter. And we've seen a lot of things playing the low blocks that Chelsea has really struggled against them. And due to the fact that there is no striker that can push back the defense of Betis and keep them under wraps and keep them in check. So I think that this game, if Betis doesn't win this game, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, same here from me. I'll really be surprised if Betis don't run out of winners in this encounter. But Chelsea coming forward there. Moises Caicedo on the ball there, finds Cole Palmer. And Cole Palmer will go out wide and finds Pedro Neto. Neto comes inward cross. Destina too, because I really don't know who he is actually crossing. Because what's it called? Nicholas Jackson up front there is not really an area threat whenever it comes to crosses. And back to Moises Caicedo in the middle of the park for Chelsea. Moises Caicedo drops it straight. Palmer easily beaten out to the ball there, and you can see the way what's it called? Isco is coming back to defend. For what's it called, for Real Betis. The experience is actually working the magic for him there. Beautiful play there by Anthony, beating out the Chelsea defender there.
You look at the way he has owned the midfield, Isco. He has played Champions League final. He has been there, done that. He has done a lot in the world of football. So this
here's a chance for a second goal with the beats up there. And yes, should be the second. Oh, well wasted effort there from Real Betis. What a chance there. That should have been a goal. Cardoso with that chance.
Yeah.
Have they? What was that?
They look like scoring anytime they go forward. When they're inside the Chelsea's box there. And
Look at that court. What? Oh, Caicedo, be sent to the cleansers there.
First person, I mean.
You have expected Cardoso doing better there. Cardoso should be scoring that, because that was a scoring chance for what a way for them to. That would have been a good second goal for Real Betis, but they have a corner kick against the Super against Chelsea right there. It's going to be a corner kick for Real Betis, and it's still 2-0 in that game between Nigeria and Ghana in that encounter. Is really turning up to be a big battle between these two sides, and you can see how those legs are opening for those passes to come in, for God's sake. All right, what a game of football we are currently having right here. And here's a chance for Ghana to have the deficit in this one, but the Super Eagles of Nigeria will regain possession. Looks to attack against Ghana right now, but Ghana regains possession, sending back into the path of the defender Aaron Asil. And yes, that game might be a free kick to Nigeria there. The number 11, Kwame Opoku. Yes, offside call against the Ghanaian striker Kwame Opoku there. So it's going to be Nigeria starting play in that encounter. 5 total attempts for Real Betis in this encounter, just 2 for Chelsea in the early stages of this one. We are straight in 22nd minutes. And it looks like Chelsea are really looking confused of how are they going to break through the Betis line.
The funniest part is that when you look at the way Chelsea has spent money and you look at the bench, the lack of threat even on bench. I think after George and Sancho, I don't think there's any other threat they have on that bench going forward. It's really funny, but yeah, let's see what will happen at the Warsaw tonight at the end of the day. But I still think it's Betis game to lose because if they lose this game, they know they missed an opportunity of schooling these boys that are just growing up to be men at the end of the day. So Betis will attack with this ball right now down the left. It takes a 1-2, but Moses Cancedo will intercept, but the referee says it's a free kick. On that tackle on the goal scorer Abde, who is on loan from FC Barcelona, who is the current La Liga champion. They will smile and say yes, they are happy. They are getting back. You can see even the club president talking about them getting back to 1:1 salary cap basis right there in La Liga. So free kick taken quickly by Betis. And yes, he will return that one back to his teammate at the heart of the defense. And yes, it is Betis building up from left to right now. And they are calm. They are 1 goal up. Who will blame them? They need to control the pace of the game.
Second goal might be coming very soon.
Very soon, very soon it looks like.
It's actually looking like Chelsea might be considered the second goal. They are yet to get into this encounter. It has really been Real Betis everywhere in this encounter against
I
Chelsea.
think the board of Chelsea needs to see that it's not about.
Is this what you guys want to go and play? Is this what you guys want to go and play in the UEFA Champions League?
That's what now they will see it.
Are they going to say anything?
They will see it. They will see it, and I don't think they will do anything about it.
So we can see the confusion on the face of the Chelsea players. Real Betis have really come to this party that they actually deserve them to win the Conference League. It's really going to be a worthy one for them to win their first European competition against a worthy opponent like Chelsea in this encounter. Ghana trying to come back in this one against Super Eagles of Nigeria, but the Nigerian defense are really marshalling themselves in this encounter. Igor Ogbu, who is making his debut for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, playing alongside the experienced Semi Ajayi for Nigeria in this encounter, has really marshaled the acts of the Super Eagles defense. Chelsea coming holding onto the ball there. Even Noni Madueke has to come and do defensive work.
But I think Noni Madueke should be playing from the other side. I don't know why.
Pedro Neto is more suited to that side. I think both of them can actually.
I think Sancho should have started because of the balance.
Okay,
that's just what I think.
Yes, Real Betis on the turn attacking against Chelsea, sends it back. It's almost the same fashion with the way they got the first goal. That's what they make out of these, and it's straight to. Yes, a cross there from Real Betis with that big chance. Marco Correa gets onto the end of that and actually Silver Chelsea blushes there straight into the path of Nicholas Jackson. Jackson has 2 to beat there, and what a good defensive work there from the defender there, Nathan, to Air Batra out there and straight into the hands of the goalkeeper, Adrian.
Yeah, straight to the hands of the goalkeeper right there. It is what it is. Betis is leading 1-0 at the 26th minute of that encounter, and it looks likely that Chelsea is down. It doesn't look like Chelsea wants to come back, and it looks like more like Betis wants to extend their lead rather than Chelsea coming back into this encounter. But it's still a long night of football. There is still about, I think, 65 minutes or there about to play. Then if you had additional time, maybe 17 minutes.
I think one problem in this game has to be the pace. One problem for Chelsea has to be the pace at which Real Betis are coming out.
And that is what I was trying to say. And Chelsea have been trying to play with that pace, which you cannot match. At least you try and calm the game down. You see the way Real Betis, once they get the ball, they want to
what
run.
What you should notice is that Chelsea is not trying to run with the ball here.
Betis
is trying to make Chelsea play the way they they want
That's
Chelsea
what I'm
to play.
saying. And
So
Chelsea needs to
they've blocked
dictate the
the
game for.
midfield. They've blocked the midfield. And look at it, Chelsea has not really had a clear-cut chance since the beginning of this game. So they've put enough bodies in the midfield to check that, and it's working for them. Maybe if Enzo Maresca tweaks something during the game, maybe this will change.
Okay, let's see how things changing at the counter, but that's one between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Ghana. That game is in the 39th minute. It's still Nigeria 2, Ghana 0 in that encounter. And the Super Eagles of Nigeria enjoying the better share of possession in that encounter. One substitution already. We saw Ghana make a substitution, taking out Aaron Azel and bringing in Ebenezer Annan in the 29th minute. That game is already in the 39th minute, and just about barely 6 more minutes to be played in the first half between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Ghana in that encounter. Chelsea come out to attack there. Nani Madueke with the ball. It's really going to be a big night between him and Sabali in this encounter, and it looks really composed against Nani Madueke.
Yeah, it looks really composed. That stayed with me. Nani has not really been a threat in this game so far due to the fact that he has kept him almost quiet.
He's playing out of position, out of wing, yeah.
No, Nani Madueke too can play from the left. He's a left footer.
Just great chance for Chelsea. Adrian will come out to deny Chelsea. That's almost a slip up there from Real Betis, but the goalkeeper out to rescue his team, and Chelsea in possession. Chaloba finds Badashil and returns it back to Chaloba. Chaloba looks forward and finds his teammates. Yes, and Chelsea. Pedro Neto with the ball there for Chelsea. What will he make out of that? And returns it back to the midfield where he finds Badashil. Badashil will attack for Chelsea with the ball and still holding on to the ball. The pace is Chelsea are also trying to control the pace and the tempo of this encounter.
Yeah.
So it's left to see who is going to get the second goal in that encounter. 41st minute in that one between Super Eagles of Nigeria, and both goals scored in the opening 20 minutes of that game. It's going to be a free kick for Nigeria against Ghana there. Let's see what the Super Eagles of Nigeria tries to make out of that. Back in play, Chelsea. Here's Marco Correa with the ball there for the Blues. Returns it back to Badashil. This is what I really hate about Chelsea, you know. Just trying all these back pass, short passes here and there.
You know, all in the name of having the ball possession but not threatening. What is the essence of keeping possession when you are not threatening? If you see the Guardiola way of keeping possession, they are always a threat. Whenever they go forward, get into the final third, they are always a threat most times. The Guardiola way, and if you want to copy that imprint, then you need to do it the proper way. Not that you keep possession in your own half for maybe 60% and not really be threatening, and you have, you know, stats can be very deceiving. When you check a game of football and you see 75-25 and the team having 75% ball possession, losing 3 goals to 0.
Okay, it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea right there.
Just like
straight in the
Manchester
path of
United.
the Chelsea captain there. Yes, Enzo Fernandez on the ball there, finds his teammate Chaloba, who finds Badashil. Badashil holds onto the ball. I'm really scared whenever I see the ball with him on his feet here. Chelsea losing possession, and he's Real Betis, and to that danger man in the middle of the park, Isco, who goes forward and finds the goal scorer. Is it Zauli there, and Zauli with the ball there, finds himself in the box. Here's the chance for his second goal. Oh, Bakambu couldn't put that into the back of the net. Easily defended there by Chelsea. It's going to be a free kick.
And I think whenever they goes that wing there, it's always very dangerous, you know.
Abdi is actually a dangerous player. You ask yourself the question, why is he not playing for Barcelona?
If you look at the Barcelona setup, it will be difficult for him to. He has grown to be this because he has had a lot of playing time. So I think that has worked for him. And maybe if Barcelona couldn't get Rashford, maybe he would later.
There's a chance for a second. Every time Real Betis goes out to attack against Chelsea, they really look threatening against the Blues in this encounter. Chelsea will have a chance to attack. Yeah, he's Nani Madueke. You ask yourself, why did he slow down the tempo there and switch his position and finds Pedro Neto? Neto will attack for Chelsea. What will he make out of this? And returns it and drops it back into the part of Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer with the cross easily met there by Nathan. And Nathan on the header there. And Real Betis will clear the line. Looks to attack against Chelsea, but Chelsea in possession. Badashil with the ball there for Chelsea. And finds Marco Correa. Correa returns it back into the part of Trevor Chaloba, who has just been called up for his first England duties. And Chaloba with the ball there. And he has Chelsea. you know the funny thing is, all those loopholes you see in the EPL, that it's easy after 1-2 passes, you drop for the striker, are really being kept in this account. And it looks like on the Real Betis boards or what's it called, management, they've done a good work on this
Yeah,
Chelsea.
they
Of course,
do
and
back.
you know they have a manager that's managed in the EPL before, and I think he also won the EPL. I think with
Yeah, with
Manchester
Man
City.
City.
And talking about the
What's this?
uh,
What's this
Manu
from?
Pellegrini, he has also coached. In fact, one of the biggest club in the world. Talking about Real Madrid, so he's an experience, and I believe he has done his work. And you could see the manager, despite leading, he's still not comfortable. Look at how he has been
Oh,
feeling.
1-0 is still 1-0 is a slim lead, so you can't really be comfortable leading 1-0.
Yeah,
Okay, here's a
so
shot corner kick from Chelsea there. Cole Palmer with the ball there, returns it back and finds his teammates, who tries to spring across into the box there. But Chelsea still in possession of the ball. Cole Palmer on the ball there. Look, physicality is on the side of Real Betis. They're actually bullying Chelsea. But you can see the confusion even on the face of the
he
manager.
knows that this team, they cannot survive in Europe without experience. This is obvious. But well, whatever they come up with, we'll see at the end of the day. But this is pure experience. Look at this finish. You know that this is pure experience on play. So if a Real Betis can handle Chelsea like this, what will a Real
but
Madrid
you
do?
as a Chelsea fan, do you think Chelsea needs too much change into the team?
They need experience, defense, midfield, and attack, mainly striker.
But I still believe the midfield three we are seeing today for Chelsea will still be the same midfield three. They will be using next season, irrespective of whoever they sign, because it will be very hard for you.
What they need organization. They need somebody that can organize the team while on the field. If you play a lot of football, there are leaders on the field. Chelsea doesn't have a leader on the field. That's just it. When you go and listen to guys that have been successful, teams that have been successful, they have leaders on the pitch.
Okay, as on that game between Nigeria and Ghana, we have 2 minutes additional time at the end of 45 minutes of regulation time of first half. So we have 2 more minutes to play in that encounter. It's still 2-0 Nigeria lead, but Nigeria attack against Ghana right now. What would they make out of this? Returns it back into the middle of the park. It's still the Super Eagles of Nigeria enjoying the better share of possession in this encounter. They look to attack against Ghana right now. Alimi tries to play one into the box there. It's still Super Eagles. Yes, Nigeria trying to dictate the tempo of this game. And the Ghanaians are actually confused. Should we actually be happy with Nigeria leading in this encounter? Or is it a case of Ghana not really feeding their strongest side?
I don't think so, because both teams are not feeding their strongest. But at the same time, you could see the way Nigeria played in this game. I think we've been the better side, and it has really shown how we've been organized. And despite we saying earlier on that both teams most of the players are just coming back from their clubs. But I think Nigeria have been the better side, and we've really organized. Ghana too, they've tried. You could see they've gotten their own chances to also got the goal. Apart from the first goal, the second goal was actually an home goal. But I don't think it's as a result of Ghana not playing to the ball. But I think it's as a result of how the Super Eagles team have been well organized and wanting to win the game.
I guess let's see what Ghana and Chelsea, Nigeria make out of this. I'm really confused because we're working on Chelsea, working on Nigeria at the same time. Here's a corner kick to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Samuel Chukwueze with that and sends an in-swinger. But Ghana will block the line, but Nigeria regains possession right there. Returns it back to Samuel Chukwueze, who has been having a handful game against the Ghanaians in this encounter. Beautiful play there. Here's a chance for the third goal. Will that be it for Nigeria? And that was a line. That was a line clearance there from the Ghanaians. What a chance for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Look at the beautiful footwork there done by Samuel Chukwueze. Chukwueze on his day is always a joy, to watch.
Yeah, on his day when he decides to play proper football, but it's too inconsistently consistent because the way it goes out, and I think most likely AC Milan will release him.
Yeah, the sense of 1, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was Ndidi. Indeed, he should be doing better here for a player who.
I think he did, and it was
that was a good line. That was a good line clearance there from the number 20 for the Ghanaian side in this encounter. He was brought in to replace the injured Azel. That was Ebenezer Annan. With that goal line clearance for Ghana in what will have been the third goal for the Super Eagles of Nigeria in the first half. At halftime already in that encounter is Nigeria leading 2-0 against Ghana. 2 early goals in that encounter. One scored in the 14th minute by Cyril Dissas, and the second was an own goal from Razak Simpson in the 19th minute, and that was enough to send the Super Eagles of Nigeria into an halftime lead against Ghana.
Yeah, so it's halftime in that encounter. 2-0 Nigeria, Dessa and an own goal so far the difference in that one. And also the 37th minute at Warsaw, Betis leading this one goal to nil. I know Shagun to be a Chelsea fan. Shagun, let me take the presenting duties. How do you feel as a Chelsea fan?
From this side of the screen.
How do you feel as a Chelsea fan?
Yes, Savali with the ball there, drops it into the middle of the park, finds Foncels. Here's a back, Batra with the ball, finds the Manchester United on loan player Anthony, who returns it back to Batra. Mark Batra also remembers him from Barcelona, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and returns it to Andran, and Andran with the ball there for Real Betis, and drops it straight and finds the left back Rodriguez. And Rodriguez come up forward with the ball, sends a long one, tries to play in Abde. Abde drops a beautiful one there, and yes, Real Betis Isco with the ball there. Wow. Whenever he scores with the ball, you're always scared of it. So what will he do with the ball there? He asks the Chelsea defender Malos Gusto to contest with there, and drops an inviting pass into the box there, but easily picked up by the Chelsea goalkeeper Jorgensen, as Abde couldn't get onto the finishing onto that. Let's look at some of the statistics of this game. It has really been a dominated game by Real Betis, but unfortunately or surprisingly, it's Chelsea who has the better share of ball possession with 67% of the ball, while Real Betis are reduced to 33% of the ball. But 6 total shots for Real Betis, 3 for Chelsea in this encounter. Looking at the shot on target, 1 shot on target for Chelsea, 2 shots on target for Real Betis in this encounter. And who has looked more intentional between these two sides?
I think it's Betis. The ball possession of Chelsea out of that 67%, I think 50% in their half, in their own half, and nothing really threatening at the end of the possession, and setting up long balls. I don't
know why they are playing this long ball, for Christ's sake. This is not in PFL.
When they've struggled to break down the team from the midfield, they want to try.
What's Money doing? Back to Mark Cucurella. Cucurella also wants to do. I think I would actually prefer Sancho on that wing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You should have started with Sancho.
Casedo with the ball there, tries to play Zaytin. Yeah, just very chance for Chelsea. Easily defended there by Real Betis, and the referee should be blowing an infringement there, but allows plays to continue, since that was a fair challenge right there. And yeah, he's Chelsea coming out to attack against Real Betis, and this time they are enjoying the better share of possession. That is Cole Palmer on the ball there, returns it back and finds Trevor Chalobah, and Chalobah finds Badashiu plays it back and finds Cole Palmer, and Cole Palmer drops it back into the part of Malo Gusto straight into the part of Trevor, and Trevor switches and finds the left back there, Marco Cucurella drops it straight and finds Noni Madueke. Madueke will attempt to attack for Chelsea and tries to play in Enzo Fernandez. That was a wrong pass for me, for Christ's sake.
Even Enzo Fernandez.
I don't think it. I think it's Enzo Fernandez.
No, that was the wrong pass. That was the wrong pass.
I think it's Enzo Fernandez, because you make the run, expecting the ball, but at the point, he stopped, and what's his name? Madueke, released the pass, and he couldn't meet up again with it. So I think Enzo Fernandez should be going for the ball.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a throw into Chelsea right there in the 40th minute of this encounter. Is it throwing a goal kick?
I think it should be a free kick.
I think that was a free kick against Chelsea. So it's going to be a free kick to Real Betis.
Offside
call. Well, this shouldn't have been offside.
Is this offside?
But if there's one thing in this game, I think Real Betis has every answers to Chelsea coming forward against them. I think that was the earlier chance which fell straight into the part of the Chelsea striker there. We couldn't to get onto that. Well, looking at this game in the early stages or the late part of this first half, after that first goal, we've not really seen much attempt or much threat from Real Betis in this encounter. It seems that goal is only the difference between both sides in this later stage of this game.
No, I think Betis they've created about one or
just 2 shots on target.
Yeah, but there was one that even you were saying he should have done better.
Yeah, he should have done better. Is different, but it wasn't a shot on target.
Yeah, it wasn't a shot on target, and the free kick. You
don't want to give them free kick here, for Christ's sake.
and to be honest, Chelsea needs to be very careful because if you concede the second goal now, it will be very, very difficult. One goal you can still find your way back in it, but you going to go down will be very, very dangerous in this kind of game. And when you look at the team you are playing with, team full of experience.
The tempo, the pace is really, really, really far different from what the players look. Oh, that should have been a free kick because he got the ball.
That's a free kick. He got the ball on the leg. He got the ball on the leg. Yes, it won't be a yellow card, but it will be a free kick.
Okay, it's going to be a free kick to Betis against Chelsea right there in the 41st minute. and a chance for Betis to double their lead against Chelsea in this encounter. Will they be able to take advantage of that and get on the second goal right there in the 41st minute? And is that man who is, the Chelsea players should be familiar with, Anthony, who is standing on that duties for Real Betis, and they get the second goal. Isco is also there for Real Betis. These are two players who are good from. Yeah, let's see what they make out of this. And Bakambu is also in the box there, a player who is good with area, who is also a area threat. And here's the cross. And Jorgensen almost dropping that halfway there. I think when Jorgensen play, I think yeah, mate. Let me talk like a Chelsea fan. Yeah, I think I'm even more confident with having Sanchez in the goalpost than Jorgensen.
No, for me, I think Jorgensen have my confidence. But if you see that free kick, he really did what he had to do, because the ball was going straight to the Betis player, and he had to come out and deflect that one. And it's a good save. The defender was there to block off any other threat, rather than the ball goes straight to the opponent and it does something risky with it. And yes, it's Marco Carella with the ball right here, straight to Noni Madueke, who's headed forward for Enzo. Enzo, no, couldn't get to the end of that one. And the goalkeeper Adrian came out and to the rescue of
I think the pace was actually what let Enzo down there, but that was one rare opportunity for Chelsea in this encounter, and the goalkeeper was down there. The Chelsea players asking him to come up, to get up, but look at that play there. I think Enzo run should have been better than that, but good one from the goalkeeper to get that, and he was also trying to sell a penalty to the goalkeeper there.
Yeah, and I don't think there was any real contact from both, but the keeper trying also to take his time there.
Yeah, let's say we are straight into the 43rd minute of this encounter. Just barely 2 minutes into halftime. Chelsea still dominating ball possession, but Real Betis dominating from the goal scored in this encounter, and that is where it really matters. One goal they've scored in this encounter, and you're still Real Betis in possession. Isco been everywhere in this encounter, drops it straight to Anthony. Anthony will approach Marco Correa there. But body to Kukureya, he face off against Kukureya, 1-on-1 right there. What will he make out of that? So chose to go for the easiest route there by passing to Sadebe. Sadebe on the ball there. Chelsea regains possession, looks to attack on Real Betis.
Real Betis are
really are getting into all these balls there.
They are playing as if their lives depend on
trying to open up space. There's Cole Palmer with the ball there. And what will Chelsea make out of this? And sends a long shot one to the wing there. And he's still Chelsea in possession, slowing down the tempo of this game. And the cross from Chelsea aimed at back to Pedro Neto. Neto tries to get onto the end of that, but couldn't get onto it. And here should be a throw into Chelsea against Betis. And gradually Chelsea are coming into this game, taking and growing in confidence against some Real Betis.
Yeah, they're gradually growing into the game. Looks like they are a bit confident more than that in this. But it's towards the dying embers of the first half. Maybe it's just Betis trying to slow down the tempo of the game. But second half we'll see the intent, and maybe they will be able to come back into this one. But as it is, I think it's Betis' game to lose.
Huh. Well. All right, wait for when.
That side shows that you are a proper Chelsea fan.
It's actually no.
You cannot be a Chelsea fan and be happy with the way Chelsea have.
It actually looked more of a one-sided affair to me in this encounter. Whenever Real Betis are with the ball, when you look at the way they attack with intentions, and they look threatening and want a lot of venom in them whenever they attack. Well, it's vice versa when you see Chelsea. Opposite.
It's not really serious. They just want to pass the ball around. No intention, no proper attack, and trying to break down the defense. But let's see what they can come up with.
At least Chelsea should try and see if they can, get something.
Yes, Enzo Fernandez with the ball. That should be a corner kick to Chelsea. Yes, rightly given there by the referee. It's going to be a corner kick to Chelsea. We have just 1 minute of additional time added there by the linesman. Yes, the free kick. Looks like it picked onto the hand of that player there, but the referee says that should be a corner kick and not a penalty call for Chelsea. Corner kick to Chelsea. What will the Blues make out of this corner kick against Real Betis? Enzo Fernandez, he is standing on this corner kick duties and takes the long one into the box. And here's Real Betis, who has all the answers to every calling from Chelsea in this encounter. And Real Betis will find themselves in a situation they'll be looking for in this encounter. Tries to counter against Chelsea. Well, I think that should be one of the last moments in this first half.
Yeah, that should be the last minute of additional time already. And I think anytime from now, the referee will bring the first half to a pause right there. But and this is not good for Chelsea, because if Betis goes in with this 1-0 lead into the second half, they will want to defend it, and it will be more difficult for Chelsea to break down this side. That when they've come out to play, Chelsea have struggled to create chances against them.
Okay, let's watch Chelsea makes out of this encounter. There's still a big 45 minutes to play in this encounter, and the referee said, "I've seen enough." And was the goal was enough, was just enough for Real Betis in the whole of the first half, and that goal came in the 9th minute from the Moroccan Zaoli, putting it into the back of the net. And the Real Betis are just 45 minutes away from winning their first European competition. And looking at the first half, it seems that yes, they actually deserve the lead in this encounter.
Yeah, I think we in terms of how both teams have played, I think Real Betis they deserve their lead, and even they could have gotten more, but thanks to some heroic save from the Chelsea goalkeeper and some block there. But I think Real Betis have been the better side. If you check the stat, you might be seeing Chelsea having a lot of possession, but based on what we've seen, I think Betis deserve the lead going into the second half.
Okay, yeah, mate. Yeah, your take for the first half.
Yeah, I think it has been a first half that Betis has actually been the better side, more intention, and that explains the fact that they are leading at halftime 1-0. They started like a house on fire, got the first goal. I think that first goal they got made them calm down, slow down a little, and so far so good for them, leading 1-0. And I think this might be their first European title.
Yeah, this is their first European title if they win. So I
they
think
want it more.
well, you can see it. Yeah, it shows the way they've approached on this game against Chelsea, that they actually want on this game more than Chelsea. And let's talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria against Ghana. We are waiting the restart of the second half of that encounter, in which Nigeria currently lead 2-0 in that game. We have to talk. I'm just more focused on the home base on Super Eagles and looking at how they've actually played in this game. Talking about Ismaila Sadiq, Papa Daniel, and Alimi Sikiru in this encounter.
Yeah, I think they've all played very well, and you can see the way Nigeria have played in this game. You see that they've really tried their own, and to me, I wasn't expecting much from them, in terms of, because we know how it always is when our home base player play outside. But maybe it's as a result of you are playing Ghana. To me, because once you are playing Ghana, it's like you are playing your neighbor, your rival. And but having said, I think both those three players have performed exceptionally well.
Okay, yeah, my turn. Cyril Disals with the first goal for the Super Eagles of Nigeria in that encounter. And, there've been a lot of talks in the media of wanting or always asking questions. Why is Cyril not in the in the frame? Even when Nigeria went to the AFCON, a lot of Nigerians were expecting Cyril to be in that team. Has he done enough to merit a slot in the Super Eagles?
I think that they just need to give him a chance to at least prove himself. Maybe one of those games, maybe just some proper friendly, maybe against Russia. Just give him some games you can.
He's not in the squad for the game against
so
Russia.
just let's see his performance in this one. Getting a goal here doesn't justify his inclusion automatically. Let us see his all-round play and the performance in general over 2 or 3 matches.
Well, to me, I think he should be given the opportunity, because we've seen him play. Why I said so is that other strikers we've been calling, they've been disappointing. I said from what's his name now? The Galatasaray.
Okay,
Osimhen. I don't think we've had any other striker. And looking at Cyril Disse and Boniface, he plays regularly for his club. Unlike Boniface, most times comes from the bench, and even when he started, they dropped him. And to me, he should be given the opportunity. And both players are different type of. They play different, type of football. But I think Boniface Cyril Disse is more suited to the Super Eagles game. You see the way he drops, come and pick the ball. He can also move the ball. But for Cyril Disse, I think he should be given more time. Because I'm part of those Nigerians that have been calling for his inclusion inclusion. Whenever the Super Eagles list comes out, you see players like Sadiq Umar that doesn't really play much, and there's also one. I think there's also another striker like that.
Aroko Dare is also.
Aroko Dare
No,
actually
he's
deserves. No,
just coming. That one is
Tolu
just coming. I'm
deserves
not even
it because
talking
he's the
about
top
him.
scorer in
Yeah,
the
he's
Belgian
he's
league.
just coming into the Super Eagles. I'm not even talking about him, but you see different names. But I think Cyril Dissel should be given more playing time.
Okay, Beats, let's go straight to the bench of Chelsea in this account and let me see what Yemi actually think, or which player will he be thinking the Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca should be throwing in the early stages of the second half. Robert Sanchez is a goalkeeper. Lucas Backstrom is also on the bench. Levi Cowie, the Chelsea centre back, and Tosin Adarabioyo, who they both pair together in Chelsea's last game in the EPL. Josh Archipong, Reece James the captain, Matthias Amogu, Karen Disbrio, Tyreek George, and Jadon Sancho, Christopher Nkuku, and Magui are the players on the bench for Chelsea in this encounter.
Yeah, I think generally speaking, I think he should switch to a false nine situation. Jackson is not really in this game. Jackson should leave.
To me, there's no even point. There's no point starting Jackson.
Yeah,
in this
I think
encounter.
Jackson should leave for Sancho and Neto get into the first nine role, and maybe it will create a bit of a balance in that four lineup. So it's not as if they would now cage one guy as the number 9. They won't because it will be a first nine situation. But I think that apart from Sancho, the other guy we have going forward, because Kuku and Magui, they don't have match fitness under their belt. So we are left with only Taran George, and there's a limit to what the academy product can do.
Okay, also in the Nigerian game is the restart of the second half, and looking at the Nigerian bench in this account, Maduka Okoye, the Denise goalkeeper, Waliu Ojetoye, who plays for Ikorodu City in Lagos State, and we have Unduka Junior, Emmanuel Oyebuchi Fine, Nathan Taylor, who plays for Bayern Leverkusen. We also have Chris Collins, Ugweze, Isaac Xavier, Felix Agu, Ahmed Musa, Tolu Aroko Dare, Kelechi Iheanacho, and Moses Simon on the bench for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. One name that everybody has been shouting about has to be Kelechi Iheanacho. What is he looking for in the Super Eagles?
Well, Kelechi Iheanacho, he has not been himself, ever since he left, I think, Leicester City. Even before he left Leicester City, he has not been himself. Most matches he has played for, even the national team, he has not been at his best. But, he moved from Sevilla, having, moved from England to Spain, to Sevilla. He find playing time, out there, and he moved to back to the championship here in England against, that's Middlesbrough rather, but still yet it hasn't been himself. But once the Super Eagles list is out, he's a name you find there, and many Nigerians keep complaining about his inclusion all the time. Same as what's his name now? The AC Milan guy. To me, they don't really,
Sama Chukwueze,
because they've been disappointing to me, because there are a lot of expectation from those players. They've not been themselves. We look at some of those players we don't really expect much from, and we blame them, leaving the ones we actually, the expectation on the air, but they don't really deliver. But for Samuel Chukwueze, I think there's something going on for him. When it comes to the Super Eagles, he's always there, being called up in the lineup, and so.
Okay, so the start of the second half in that game between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Ghana. Is Nigeria now playing from the right side of our screen, and Ghana playing from the left side. The Super Eagles still leading 2-0 against Ghana. Ugu with the ball there. Good older play from the Nigerian defender, who finds his midfield, the captain, standing captain for this encounter, Wilfred Ndidi, who plays for relegated EPL side Leicester City. Next season they'll be playing their trade in the championship, and it's left to see if Wilfred Ndidi for the second time will be going down to the championship with Leicester City. Here's Nigeria in possession, lost possession to Ghana, who looks to attack against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But that was too much there for the player Emmanuel there, who's sporting the jersey number 20 for Ghana. Ebenezer Anansori. It's going to be a throwing to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We've seen almost 4 minutes of action in the second half, and Nigeria still leading comfortably 2-0 in this one.
Yeah, Nigeria leading comfortably. The right back right there, about to restart play from that throw-in at the 49th minute of that encounter. I sense it forward and a little flick on, but intercepted by the Ghanaian player right there. Ghana back in possession, but Nigeria wins it back. Oh, it's possession in contention, and now Ghana wins it back. It doesn't look like the Ghanaians are in a hurry to get a goal in this second half because yeah, they are 2-0 down, but I can't really see the urgency.
Yeah, it has to be, the way the Nigerians have guys have actually marshaled themselves in the middle of the park. They are currently leading and they are really calm everywhere in the middle. They are not rushing up against the Ghanaians in the second half. Ghana back in possession, returns it back to the defender. Stephen there. Who goes back to the goalkeeper Benjamin Asari. Asari drops one into the middle of the park. Ghana will look to attack against the Super Eagles of Nigeria right now. Sends a long cross there, but now the Nigerian defender Semi Ajayi should be getting onto that there, and he easily clears out the lines for the Super Eagles of Nigeria as they look to attack against the Ghana. It's still 0 right there. We're straight into the 50th minute of the second half, which means we've seen 5 minutes of action in the second half, and still about 40 more minutes to play in this one. Should we be seeing the substitution anytime soon?
Yeah, I think we should be seeing the substitution anytime soon. There are a lot of players on the bench that needs to be given an opportunity to play. A lot of Nigerians wants to see them. Player like Nathan Taylor, I want to see him on the pitch. Even there's also Ahmed Musa there. Let's see what is, if he can still, do it for the Super Eagle, because is one name that a lot of Nigerians have. At a point in time, I think he also came out and said he has retired with the Super Eagle, but we also saw him back. But I think the manager should be. It's a friendly game either way. I don't think it's a FIFA.
No, it's FIFA. It's okay. It's a friendly competition.
Yeah, so it's not about just winning. It's about also giving other players opportunity, because we have major matches coming on. So at least let's see what other guys can do.
But coming into the second half, it seems like the Ghanaians have actually improved and they look more better than what we saw from them in the first half.
Yeah, they've improved a little bit, but it's still early days. 5 minutes in the second half, but the attitude is what I just want to see. I want to see them fight for every ball. Try to make life difficult for the defense of the Super Eagles. And maybe they can come back into this one.
Okay, Ghana made 2 double substitution at the start of the second half. Caleb Urenki came in for Kamaruddin Mamadu, and also we saw Brother Thomas Asante who came in for Kwame Opoku at the start of the second half of this encounter. So let's see what those 2 players brings into this encounter for Ghana as they look to attack against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Straight into the Nigerians goalkeepers, and there's Stanley Wambali. We gather that for Nigeria, and the goalkeeper who plies the straight in the South Africa League there. Still holds onto the ball. You can see he has to throw that. Probably he's interested in wasting more time. We can see the coach of the Ghana side, Otto Addo, having the word with his assistant there. Probably frustration coming into this game. He knows what it means for them to lose a game of this magnitude against the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Yeah, the Jollof Derby is not really a joking affair. The bragging right in between the 2 countries. Then Twitter will be the another next playing field after this game. And you know that you don't want to lose against your bitter rivals like that. Though the rivalry is in the game, but I think that they can do better.
I think I'll actually second what Paulo said about throwing Nathan Taylor into this encounter. Looks like Sikiru Alimi is looking out of sorts in this encounter, playing in an unfamiliar pose wing in this encounter. So we need a a natural winger to actually come into this game and supplement for the likes of Samuel Chukwueze in this encounter.
Yeah, and one thing about Nathan Taylor, with the way he plays with his club, is also he plays more or less like also a fullback, because he knows how to. It's very quick. Yeah, he can track back, so it will be an advantage for us, having him on the field, because the Ghana team wants to at least reduce the deficit, and you could see the way they've been playing in this second half.
Alright, some more from Ghana in the second half. They're coming up against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Straight into the 53rd minute of that encounter. The referee spotting an offside call there against Ghana. So it's going to be advantage Nigeria. Will restart play from a free kick here in this encounter. Still Nigeria leading 2-0 in that one against Ghana. And it's 53 minutes approaching the 54th minute of that encounter. And we can see the players from that Conference League game between Chelsea and Real Betis approaching, coming up from the tunnel. Yes, it's the final of that competition, and let's see if Chelsea can come back in the second half and win this encounter. A long shot there from the Super Eagles of Nigeria. That's one threatening the goalkeeper in goal post there for Ghana. And Cyril Dissas with that shot there. But that was not enough to threaten the Ghana goalkeeper.
Yeah, that was not enough. You can see the boys preparing to come out. It seems the captain, Reece James, will be thrown in, has been thrown in by the Chelsea coach right there. Malo Gusto most likely will be the player that
He was
will
actually
be
skinned in the
sent in.
first half.
Yeah, he was struggling
Against
against the
Abdi.
pace of Abdi. You know, Gusto is more of an attacking right back.
Mhm.
His defensive duties can be called to actions one or two times, called to question one or two times, and that's the confirmation.
Yes, Malo Gusto
With
being with them.
James.
But is he actually a worthy substitution?
I think you need to get a balance on that right hand side,
Okay.
at least to calm down the pressure because the
And
goal came from
I
there
think
too.
they've not been helping him because once you see the ball goes to the
Yeah, that's my problem. That's my-
left
that's
side
my-
of the
that's
attack, you always
actually
see Isco and the other guy
That's
doubling
actually my
up on him.
problem in this encounter because
no,
you have to
they've
look
not
at
been helping him.
Neto. Neto hasn't really. Neto didn't do Malo Gusto,
A
much of a
good,
lot of
yeah.
favor in the first half. He didn't really double up with him to defend. Probably they needed Reece James on the pitch for his leadership, attributes.
Yeah, maybe. I said in the first half that I hardly see a leader in that team. Somebody that will propel them and try to push them to actually do the needful. And I think that substitution, let's see how far it can go because I don't think Reece James too can keep up with the pace of Abdi.
Abdi.
So
No, that's why he needs someone to cover help. And I think Chelsea have focused on probably what's his name now, the Man U loanee now, talking about Anthony leaving because you could see the way they've been switching the ball.
Funny enough,
up there.
Abdi is even more dangerous than
And
Anthony.
he has been,
Yeah.
and most of the threat, have come from that, left-hand side of attack. For
I really
Real
love
Betis.
to. I really love to see what Barcelona will be doing with Abdi. Would they be selling him off to Real Betis, or would they be keeping him? Knowing fully well that they actually played,
I'll
Rafinha
just have
out
to
of. They
confirm
played
the
Rafinha out
position.
of.
Yeah, that's why Barcelona is really interested in signing Rashford.
Well, it's Rashford and Abdi. You can't have a Abdi and you're going for Rashford.
That's what they are doing, and it's obvious that's what they want to do.
No, I think he has been transferred permanently.
Oh, he has been sold.
He's been
Oh, okay, he
transferred
has
because
been
he
sold.
just returned back from a loan from Osasuna before he joined. He has been sold permanently.
Okay, yes, that is the confirmation about that man is Zaoli, who got the first goal
He was sold for
for
about 7.5
for
million
Real
euros.
Betis.
to
What
Real
he go?
Betis.
Probably there'll be a buyback clause.
add-ons
There'll be
or
a buyback
buyback,
clause
yeah.
there in it for Barcelona to get on the Morocco international back to the team. And here's the restart of the second half in that game between Chelsea and the Real Betis. Your expectations for the second half?
I think that I expect Chelsea to fight, even if they will lose. They should not fold their arms and just not do anything. At least let them take the game to Betis and fight till the end.
Okay, what about you?
Well, I expect Chelsea to have learned from their mistake, and we could see the manager throwing on what's his name now, Reece James, into the game immediately, and and also Real Betis also making changes also, but Chelsea are the one down at the moment, so they need to improve from how they perform in the first half if they are to get anything from this, and Real Betis also. They just need to keep up, with the way they've been playing, and if possible, even add one more goal to make things easier for them. But I expect both teams to come out fighting in this second half.
Okay, let's see if they can come out fight back. There is Trevor Chalobah, takes a long one, tries to play in Pedro Neto. Neto in possession of the ball for Chelsea, tries to play himself in box there, but good defensive work there from Nathan for Real Betis. Sends a long one into the Chelsea half, tries to play in update there, but Chelsea back in possession. Caicedo drops it straight for. Ask yourself, what was that man doing there, for Christ's sake? Yes, Noni Madueke on the ball for Chelsea. Yes, Chelsea looking at Marco Correa, returns it back to Madueke. Madueke has on his man there, Sabali, to beat and returns it back to Marco Correa. Correa finds a Caicedo. Caicedo with the ball for Chelsea, drops it, takes a long one there, and his Noni Madueke with the ball there, returns it inward, finds Marco Correa. Correa drops it back, and still Chelsea. Badashil with the ball there, drops it straight into the path of the captain, who is looking playing more inverted than for Chelsea right here. And here's Trevor Chalobah, goes out wide and finds Pedro Neto. Neto with the ball there, returns back to the Chelsea captain. And yeah, he's a long cross there from Chelsea. That should have been the chance for that equalizer. But at the end of the day, they let that waste off there from the Blues. And you ask yourself, how was that? What was that?
Due to the press.
I think
that
Jackson should have approached, and he should have approached that with his head.
I think that's due to the absence of a proper number 9. Because in that position, the number 9 will get in at the end of that kind
Yes,
of.
Ghana going out against the Super Eagles of Nigeria, but straight into the hands of the Nigerian goalkeeper there, Stanley Wabali, as he has denied the Ghana striker there, sporting the jersey number 22 or 23, sorry, Brandon Thomas Asante, who was brought in the 46th minute to replace the striker who started Kwame Ojoku Opoku in this encounter, and that was easily grabbed there by the Nigerian goalkeeper. Chelsea will look to attack again. Cole Palmer, who has really been so cold in this encounter.
Yeah, Cole Palmer has been so cold. No, really. The Cole Palmer that started the season like a house on fire. I think he needs to find his form, and because he's saddled with the responsibility of carrying the team. So there are some players that when they are not doing well, it will affect the team, and one of them is Cole Palmer right now.
I guess still Nigeria 2, Ghana 0 in that encounter, and the Ghanaians have been asking a lot of questions in the second half, and they are looking to half those deficits against Nigeria. Still Ghana in this possession and find themselves in the Nigerian box. A chance for them to get one against Nigeria. Will they be making that? Will they be getting anything out of that? Still Ghana in possession. Nigeria coming out to defend. But I think the Nigerian defenders needs to be very much careful right now, because we have about 2 players on yellow card. Ismaila Sadiq, the right back, is on the yellow card. And Igo Ogbu, also the centre back, is also on the yellow card in this encounter. What a good order play there from the Nigerian striker. But the Ghanaians have picked up possession, and they're now attacking against Nigeria. Straight into 1 hour of football in that encounter. 60 minutes gone. It's still Nigeria 2, Ghana 0.
Yeah, still Nigeria 2, Ghana 0. But in the game against Chelsea, Jackson is in on goal. What can you do right here? He drops the pass to nobody. And that will be... Oh, it's an offside actually. But Ghana will attack down the left into the box. Cross into the box.
I won't be surprised if Ghana gets one goal back in this encounter.
That's what I'm saying, that in my hand, 1-0. In my hand, and
I guess we can see Nigeria preparing on 3 substitution in this encounter. Looks like Kelechi Iheanacho is one of those substitutions being prepared by the Nigerian manager. So let's see the players who will be thrown into this encounter at the 60th minute for them to play 30 minutes and showcase their talent, what they'll bring to this team, to the Nigerian manager. We have the first one is Samuel Chukwueze, who has been withdrawn by the Nigerian manager. And he has been withdrawn. You can see the Nigerian fans on the pitch there giving him a standing ovation.
Yeah, he has done well today. He played very well. He took the game to the opponent, but towards the end of the first half, I think he dropped a little. Maybe fatigue. He didn't really get a lot of playing time.
Alright, so we have Ahmed Musa been thrown into this encounter. Papa Daniel also be withdrawn for Moises Simon, and looks like the Nigerian manager is now going for experience for the remaining 30 minutes of this game.
Yeah, experience is needed. They need to control the game. They need to know how to handle the pressure. They need leadership on the field, and he has gotten the captain band immediately he got on. And let's see. Maybe he'll continue what he has been doing for Kano Pillars this season.
Okay, it's going to be a free kick. So, Real Betis against Chelsea in that encounter. And it's a Real Betis player there who is currently down. Talking about that man there, Fonels. Whoa, that was actually a bad tackle there.
iFoot from
what's it called? Nicholas Jackson. And it was Mark Batra who went into that, who was at the end of that challenge. From the Chelsea striker Nicholas Jackson. He has really been disappointing in this encounter to me. I've not really seen him. I don't really think he actually, merits starting this encounter.
Yeah, to me, I think he shouldn't have started this encounter.
Probably coming in the second half.
Yeah, it would have been better. Maybe read the game from the bench. But even with what he did, yes, but there has to be punishment for this kind of attitude.
It's not about punishment, because I've not seen his work in this game, and that's that begs the question that Chelsea needs a striker, a traditional 9.
It's obvious, and we've seen them linked with some names.
This is another player I don't want to see on the pump to the pitch, for Christ's sake. Jesus Rodriguez, another fantastic player on this day. Probably we were complaining about Abde. And now they are bringing Jesus Rodriguez. Another crazy guy.
And they still have this Argentine players that knows how to score. Lesoso that knows how to score those kind of crazy goals.
So we have the goal scorer being withdrawn on this encounter. He was only this is one of the problems he had at Barcelona. Injuries are always his problem. Talking about Abde there, he's been withdrawn to another enterprising player who has been linked to Chelsea. Talking about Jesus Rodriguez, who will be coming in for Real Betis, and that is another interesting player. You really want to see the ball out of fit. So let's see what Jesus brings into this encounter for Real Betis.
Yeah, let's see what he brings into this one. It's coming in, and Betis leading 1-0 already at this point in time. So that's the end of the season of Abde, the Betis forward right there. And he got them the goal in this game, and the goal might prove to be the trophy winning one at the end of the day. Shegun might be shaking maybe because I can hear his voice.
It's actually just the Conference League. It's not really one of those big
deal
competitions.
right there.
If you win it, you win it. If you lose it, you lose it. Seems like Arsenal are the one, who are yet to win European competitions are the one. So this type of competition really matters.
Something to them,
So it's more like a friendly match to me. Okay, Betis in contention there. Isco, I think he deserves the man of the match. Should this game end in favor of Real Betis? He has been everywhere, marshalling with experience in the middle of the park against the Chelsea side in this encounter. Real Betis in possession. Nathan on the ball there for Rain. Jesus Rodriguez is going to roll out to a throw-in for Chelsea right there. Nigeria has a defensive work to do against Ghana, who are really coming out against the Super Eagles of Nigeria and looking to get an equalizer in this one. Straight into the box there. Here's still a chance for Ghana. Easily defended there by the Nigerians. Defender there. Straight into the hands of Nigerian goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali as we are approaching the 66th minute of this encounter, which leaves us with barely 24 minutes to go on in this game. Do you think the Super Eagles of Nigeria can angle until the end of that game?
I think they should be able to. And a good big chance for Chelsea.
Wow.
Corner kick?
I think
that should be a foul because the goalkeeper.
I think the goalkeeper approached the ball, not the player. But it's a game of football. Let's see what the referee is actually thinking of there. Because it looks like there's an head injury for the Nigerian to Badashiu. Unnecessary yellow card there. What was he looking for? What was he arguing for? Complaining for what? But this guy knows the rule that it's only the captain that can approach the ref.
He has been approaching since the first half. I think he has gotten what he wants.
Let's see that again. Both of them went into that to approach that ball.
I think that was a punch.
Let's see. It's just
who won the ball first? Let's see.
It's about who won the ball first. That sent an in-swing guy into the box there. I think the goalkeeper went for the ball.
The goalkeeper didn't touch the ball.
But he went for the ball.
But he didn't touch the ball.
No, it's going to be a corner kick.
But to me, that should be a foul because he actually,
the goalkeeper is in his territory.
I don't.
So when he's approaching the ball, is either is one of the two that is going to happen there. But I think that is actually too soft.
We have VAR in this game.
Yeah, there's surely VAR. So I think let's see what VAR will think about that. But I don't really think that is going to be a penalty.
I think it will be a soft penalty.
It's going to be a corner kick, not a penalty for Chelsea there. You can see the Chelsea fans are still in their numbers on the pitch there. That is the confirmation that it's a corner kick and not a foul intended or being given to Chelsea right there. So it's a corner kick to Chelsea. What will they make out of this corner kick? Can they get the equalizer against Real Betis from it and straight into the box there? But aimed at no ball. Oh, weak in deflection there. A very shot there from the Chelsea captain Nathan. And Nigeria just tripled their lead in that game against Ghana. But that goal is not going to stand. Kelechi Iheanacho being said to be in the offside position. And that won't stand. So it's back to 2-0. Well, that would have been, one goal for Kelechi Iheanacho if that had counted. Let's see that again. Yeah, it was way off in the offside position. And still Chelsea and straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. You ask yourself, that cross should have been better for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I think it should have,
or you should have even attempted. You have gone
for goal, or bring in a more better cross.
That was a Chaluba there for Christ's sake.
No,
he went on goal, but that was even more weak.
Okay,
that was a weak shot from him. Jackson.
Like a
pass to the goalkeeper. Alright, straight in the 57th minute of that encounter. Chelsea against Real Betis. It's still Real Betis leading 1-0, but Real Betis will attack right now. Antonio with the ball there. And sends across there, but that won't threaten the Chelsea defenders. And straight it's going to be a goal kick out to Chelsea. 58 minutes of action played already in Poland. It's still Betis leading 1-0. Courtesy that early goal scored by Abdi in the early stages of that encounter. Chelsea looks better in the second half than what we saw in the first half.
Yeah, and Chelsea looks like they might get a go in this second half with the way they've been playing. Betis have it's been Chelsea
What's
all
this
in
touch?
this
What's
second
this touch from? What's it called from Noni Madueke? Can Madueke just been withdrawn and put in probably Sancho in this encounter? There's a need for Sancho.
But I think the manager should have at least.
Yeah, we have Ghana who has reduced the deficit and deserved the goal against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. They've been coming up. They've go up. And finally, they have their goal against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Who else than Braden Thomas Ashanti was giving Ghana one goal against the Super Eagles of Nigeria right now. So we have a big ending to this encounter.
Yeah, it will be a nervy finish in this one. And they deserve Nigeria the second half. And now 2-1. That's a good one.
And you ask yourself the questions. Look at how free that player was in the have this lot of freedom in your own territory. Where were the defenders? Where were the eyes on this Ghana player?
Yeah, but I think that deservedly they got the goal, and it's been long coming since the start of the second half. And yes, Nigeria should do more if they want to win this one.
All right, straight into the 70th minute. We still have a barely about we're straight into the 71st minute of that encounter, and that is how it stands. And Ghana 1, Nigeria 2, and the Ghanaians will still come out against the Super Eagles of Nigeria to attack against Nigeria in this encounter. Still Ghana in possession, looking for their equalizer, and can they get that one? They've been the better. Chelsea will be preparing a substitution, and that is one substitution a lot of Chelsea fans have been calling for. Jadon Sancho being thrown into this game.
Yeah, it's just obvious that they need a balance up front.
At the same time, I think Kowi is about to be thrown in also. We might be seen by the Chile out, and it's already on the yellow card also.
Pedro Neto right there.
Wow,
I think he has not really been in this game so far.
You gotta say that, and you can see there's a Betis player currently on the top there. The referee might be asking him to get back on his feet, on his feet for this game to start. Let's see if there was looks like there was a touch on him there from Pedro Neto. Yes, Ghana chasing against the Super Eagles of Nigeria, looking for that equalizer in this encounter. When Nigeria will approach there, that is Bruno Fernandes, Bruno Oyemiachi, who drops a long one, but good defensive work there from the Ghana defender there to get hold of that. And Ghana looking the better of those two sides in the second half of this encounter. They've come all out. This is not the Ghana we saw in the first half against Nigeria.
Yeah, and I said it earlier on that Ghana wants to give their best, at least even reduce the deficit, because we know so far they've been very good in this second half, to be honest.
Okay, yes, you can't take that away from the Ghanaian side. They've actually been better in the second half of this encounter. 2 substitutions from Chelsea, and you ask yourself the question: why was Levi Kowi not starting this encounter? A lot of gambling for the Chelsea manager.
Yeah, lots of gambling. Really not the best, but it is what it is. And Neto has made way for Sancho. And
there's still a lot of talks about Jadon Sancho. This might be his last game for Chelsea, and there's still some Chelsea fans who feels that Jadon Sancho should be retained for next season.
I think Jadon Sancho, for that price tag, I think he can improve. So I think he should be retained for next season.
There's a chance for Real Betis against Chelsea with this very second goal. Oh, easily blocked there. Chelsea will look to attack against the Blues there. Returns it back to the defense there. And is Batra on the ball there. Finds the goalkeeper, Adrian. And Adrian with a long one. Lost possession. He's not in Madueke. But the referee says that is going to be a free kick. It was on the infringement. From Noni Madueke. I think Noni Madueke also has been absent in this game.
Yeah, Noni Madueke.
And we've even seen more presence of Pedro Neto in this game than even Noni Madueke.
I think they are just almost the same thing.
You could see now that I think with the withdrawal of what's his name now, Neto now, both Noni Madueke have switched to the other side. I was expecting the manager at least to have switched, both players earlier on, but he left them there.
Okay, that's the goalkeeper coming out to the defensive work there for Betis against Chelsea. There's going to be a throw into Chelsea there. Rhys James gets it onto that and drops it straight into the path of his teammates. Chelsea looking to attack against Betis from the fence. And here is Marco Correa on the ball there. Returns the bag and finds Levi Kowi. who has been baptized since coming into this game. We saw Bakambu going in through in and out of him in that second half. Yes, Nani Madueke now on his familiar wing there, finishing. The end product is always a problem for Nani.
Yeah, the end product, the starting is there, but the finishing, the execution, there's a whole lot of improvement that he needs to do. And I think that over time, these guys will grow, but in the time that they will grow, I think Chelsea will have to suffer a whole lot. And many of them now will grow and go to the bigger clubs because they want to win something at the end of the day. So this journey, I don't really understand what these guys are trying to do. It doesn't really make sense to me fully, because if they want to compete to win trophies, you need at least 5 or 4, maybe 3 to 5 experienced players, if not more.
What's this? What's that from Nani, for Christ's sake? Referee allows players to continue, says that was a fair challenge on the Chelsea winger. And was brought down there. There's no urgency. There's no urgency from Madueke. There's no urgency from him in this game at all. You're just playing it, just taking it casually, like there's nothing at stake.
That's what I keep complaining about, the attitude of the players, especially when there's something at stake. How many marquee games this season that Chelsea really need have they won against the big side? At Liverpool, they lost to Man City home and away, a dying Man City home and away. Arsenal could only get 1 point from Arsenal out of possible 6.
Cole Palmer on his day will take a shot from there.
So I don't understand.
Cole Palmer on his day will aim for a shot there. But I don't really know why he actually chose a pass there. You can see these Real Betis fans going into wide jubilation. They know that they are, inches, minutes away from winning this one. They are straight into the 65th minute, just barely 25 more minutes to play in this encounter. That's how they go in the early stages of this encounter. Might just be the difference between both sides. And yes, Chelsea with a chance, and it's Enzo Fernandez who has equalized for Chelsea out of nowhere, out of nothing. Chelsea equalized in this one. Enzo Fernandez with the header. And this game on in Poland. Chelsea won, Real Betis won as it stands. And that is it, coming all out, and the intention, and they get the goal.
And you look at the way Cole Palmer danced with the ball, was looking for the run, saw the run and dropped the pass there. Really good vision from the English midfielder right there.
Okay, yeah, so that is it. It's 1-1 right now.
Yeah, it seems Paulo has.
No, I said you could see the way he put in the cross there, and they wanted to do something like that earlier on with that. That was in the second half with the introduction of Rhys James. You saw that pass, something similar, and there was somebody.
Oh, the goalkeeper will actually fell on there.
He couldn't do anything. He headed it down to the ground.
And this begs the question. Same thing.
He headed it to the ground.
Remember that one? Same thing straight to Nicholas Jackson. And you ask yourself the question: why couldn't Jackson just approach that for an header?
That's.
I remember seeing what's it called, training clips from Real Betis coming into this game. There was a invited cross from from Rodriguez straight into the part of Bakambu in the training. Such also fans coming into the comment section and say that Jackson will never approach that ball. He will never approach it.
And when you look at the strikers, Chelsea, I think especially the noise about Ekikite or what's his name, it's not an improvement on Jackson.
Is there a VR check on that goal? Looks like there's a VR check on that on Chelsea. But starts Chelsea won. Real Betis won at the 67th minute of this encounter, and it's still Nigeria 2, Ghana 1 in that encounter. And then Chelsea will approach again and looks to attack right now. And you ask yourself the question again: what is that? And still Chelsea in possession. Cole Palmer sends one into the box there, and part of the. If there's a player on the bench that can come in for for Nani Madueke, it's better just to just make that substitution. That guy
think there is.
I don't know why. I don't actually know what he's doing in this encounter, for Christ's sake. Yes, it's 1-1 as it stands right now. So all teams being equal. One more goal in this game. I just win it for either of the sides in the remaining 28 or 22 minutes to play in this encounter. And Paulo, you actually, fancy Chelsea getting a goal in the second half. And do you think Betis will be coming back to win this one?
Well, let's see if with the goal we spur them into action in this second half, because the way they've been playing in this second half has not been the way they played in the first half. I said it earlier on that Chelsea looks like a team that will get a goal in this second half, which they've gone ahead and get. But before the goal in this second half, we've not really seen much from Real Betis. But let's see. But so far now, I think the momentum have completely shifted, towards Chelsea getting even another goal. And because the way Chelsea have been playing, you can see they've with also the introduction of I think what's his name, the captain. Reece James actually gave them a bit of balance, in defense and going forward.
All right, that game between Nigeria and Ghana is on the later stage of the second half. A shot here from Cole Palmer, but Adrian gathers that for Real Betis and straight into the hands of the Real Betis goalkeeper. That's sold into the back of the net. But good shot from him and good catch also from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's a good attempt at goal. Really caught the goalkeeper off balance, but it was at the right place at the right time. If he had bent it, maybe we might be talking about the second goal for Chelsea.
All right, 80 minutes gone in that game between Nigeria and Ghana. And Nigeria is also preparing more substitution in this encounter. I really want to see this guy come into this game, Nathan Taylor. I really want to see
and one thing I would like your take on Chalobah since coming back to Chelsea from that loan spell at Crystal Palace in January.
Okay, what you say?
Your take on.
Well, I think he has actually been helpful for Chelsea since coming back from that loan. We've seen him come, crunching in some games for Chelsea. So I think it has actually been a good spell coming back. But is he going to stay at Chelsea come at the end of this season or come start of next season? That is another question.
But you are a Chelsea fan. Let's say
I'm not talking about the Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea fan. But Paul, you've seen Chalobah since he came back from Crystal Palace in January. What do you think? What has he brought to the Chelsea setup?
I think it's probably a necessary loan record, because you could see Chelsea struggling with a lot of injury at that time, with their centre back. And I think to me, what's his name? And Chalobah is.
And that is the second goal. Nicholas Jackson nicks it in for Chelsea, and it's Chelsea who has gone into the lead against Real Betis. Cole Palmer, cold as ice, 2 assists for him in this final, 2 assists in the second half, and Chelsea have turned this around and gone into the lead against Real Betis. 70 minutes.
Yeah, back to
it's obvious that you're a Chelsea fan.
No. That was how I celebrated Betis goal.
That's not. Yeah, record, we can check it.
No, but if you could look at the second half, it was obvious. After I've seen the first 5 minutes, I said it here that Chelsea looks like, and even after the goal, it looks like, because the momentum have completely shifted. Real Betis, they've not really picked up in this second half at all, and you could see Chelsea have gone ahead and get the second goal.
And the 2 goals looks familiar. Send a cross into the box and get a player to put on a head onto that. Some good initiative there from Cole Palmer. At first I was talking about him being selfish there. That probably a cross a pass, probably a pass. No, this guy was free there for a pass. What's it called? Noni Madueke. And twice now, you look at this. Nobody was. Nathan, you asked a question. What was Nathan looking at?
I think it's chest.
Nathan should be doing better there. Nathan should be doing better defensively there. Let's see. Hope that is not a number. No, it's his chest. And you ask yourself the question, you have to look at the initiative being picked up by the Chelsea player, Cole Palmer, for the 2 goals. 2 times he had an opportunity of dropping a pass for Noni Madueke, but he chose and fancy a cross into the box, and twice, it has given Chelsea a goal.
Yeah, I think that should, that is a normal thing for you as a midfielder to do there, pulling the cross up. You'll be expecting your striker, to be at the end of the cross, and the 2 times he has done that now in the last 5 minutes, Chelsea have gotten goal from it. But the second goal, I think it's about Real Betis, not doing their job properly. Where you can see Jackson
another mad player
coming on to meet them.
You look at the depth for this Real Betis. Against 2-1, Chelsea lead against Real Betis on 73rd minute of this encounter. Oh, you look at the quality of substitution. You can't. How are you taking out Bakambu where you're bringing in Arthur Rubel, another quality player up front? You know, a lot of problem at that back.
But I think since that they left the field.
Yeah,
I think
they've dropped. They've dropped.
Not just
in the counter.
the second half completely. They've not been themselves. They've not really. I don't think.
Okay,
they've
and looks like Chelsea will be throwing Tosin Adarabioyo
Yeah,
also into this
defense.
game.
You know all these
To defend, please.
all
It's
these
too early for you to defend.
overthinkers. Now it seems they are defending now with their lives. Even Guardiola. You know, it's very funny how football.
I think Jadon Sancho has also brought a bit of life into that attack for Chelsea. Good order plays from him, you know, on that left wing, more better than what we saw from Noni Madueke in the first half. You know, playing on that position. Ghana will approach on the Nigerian box right now, looking for their second goal against the Nigerians. With their standard chance of getting the equalizer, still Ghana in possession, and that game is already in the 84th minute. There is a chance for Ghana, but that is going to roll out for a corner kick against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Jordan Ayew is still on this page. Looking at the two substitutions being made by the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Ifeanyi Emmanuel was thrown into this game, and Semi Ajayi was withdrawn, and also Collins Ugweze was brought into that encounter for Frank Oyeka. Seems like we might not be seeing Nathan Taylor playing this encounter.
Yeah, most likely, and I think Aruko Dare too.
Yeah, he's on the bench. Aruko Dare came late. He came to camp late. Yeah. I think he joined up yesterday. Same with the goalkeeper. Okoye. Okay, still Chelsea in possession, looking for a third goal against this Real Betis side. But they need to be careful with against Real Betis, because once Real Betis comes out, it's really going to be a big problem. That's why in the middle of the park, tries to play one across and tries to play in Anthony. Good order play there from Marco Correa. Chelsea in possession of the ball and returns it back into the middle. Caicedo. And that was a wasted pass from the Chelsea midfielder. Here's Real Betis in possession. And what would they make out of that? And Chelsea defending work there. Here's the captain with the ball there and wins some Chelsea throwing. Chris James coming in, crouching for Chelsea in this encounter. And the Nigerian game is already in the 86th minute. 4 more minutes for the Super Eagles of Nigeria to hang on against Ghana in that encounter. It's 2-1 in that game, Nigeria lead.
Yeah, Nigeria lead deservedly, but this second half they need to improve because they really left a lot of spaces for the Ghanaians to penetrate through, which has explained why they have.
I think this Chelsea game will most likely go into extra time.
Maybe, just maybe. Let's see. But with the way Chelsea has been able to waste time and taking a slim lead, won the game with a slim lead. I think that they can hold their own because 1-0 against Man U, 1-0 against Nottingham Forest, and even 2-1 against Fulham. I think they can hold this one till the
end. Alright, it's the 76th minute in that encounter between Chelsea and Real Betis, and Chelsea has turned this around. There's from losing 1-0 in the first half to going 2-1 up in the second half of this encounter. They are 15 minutes away from completing that history they are aiming for in this encounter against some Real Betis. And he's still Chelsea in possession of the ball. Real Betis clears the line and sends it back into the Chelsea half. But Chelsea regains possession there. The captain on the ball there. Everybody throws out for a throw-in to Real Betis. The referee allows place to continue. Says that wasn't a throw-in, but finally it goes out for a throw-in to looks like it's Real Betis. Real Betis are throwing right there in that encounter.
Yeah, Real Betis back with the ball, and yes, straight to that central back right there. And Betis, it will be like a movie. How the game of football can turn.
They had this game. You look at the way the tempo in the first half. They had this game in the first half.
Yeah.
And would have thought of Chelsea coming back in this game. I never saw Chelsea coming back in this one, for Christ's sake.
Well, with the way they were playing in the second half, I knew Chelsea would definitely get a goal because the tempo actually dropped. But Betis had everything, to kill off the game in the first half. But they couldn't, kill off the game in the first half. Now they are chasing the game now.
And that's what they make out of this. Anthony with the ball there, sends across into the box. And Chelsea clears the lines against Real Betis, but still Real Betis in possession. That is going to roll out for a corner kick. As Real Betis corner kick against Chelsea. Marco Correa doing a lot of work for Chelsea in this encounter. And as it stands right now, it's still Chelsea 2, Real Betis 1 in that encounter. Quickly taken by Real Betis and to the box there. Might just be a chance for a second goal. Chelsea clears the lines, and Chelsea will look to eat out on the counter. Sancho drops it straight into the path of Jackson, and Jackson going straight for Chelsea with this very chance for a third goal. Hey! Jackson!
Oh my word! He overran the ball, and hope he has not picked injury there from we were running the
Just one touch and a pass.
And there were two there, sir. He could have even at least.
Jackson.
Yes, Real Betis will turn out defense into attack. Reminds me of what's it called? Raheem Sterling was playing for Chelsea. When I see all those type of run, you know the end product. And here's a chance for Real Betis in the box there. The referee allows place to continue. Says that wasn't a number, but Real Betis will come out to attack. Those are the kind of chances that comes back to haunt you at the end of the game of football. Real Betis are looking for a chance to attack against Chelsea. Here's Ghana trying to get the second goal. But Nigerian goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali to the rescue for Nigeria. Yeah, it's actually been a while. It's been a while. And yes, Chelsea against Real Betis in the final of the Conference League. It's the 80th minute, and Chelsea are 2-1 up against Real Betis. And it looks like Nicholas Jackson is out injured of this.
Yeah, it looks like.
Yes.
So what's been your take? What's been your take in this game?
Actually, I knew they were going to win, even though the first half they played like they were all pregnant.
But they are yet to win here. They are yet to win this. They still have about 10 minutes to play in regulation time.
Yeah, they tried. This second half, they came in blazing. They changed their patterns of playing, which actually they changed the game completely. When they bring in what is his name? James and
Sancho.
So they changed the game, which kind of make good sense. Okay. Now we know that we're carrying at least we're not going to won't be trophyless like some club.
I guess talking about Jadon Sancho. Are you of the opinion that Chelsea should be making that loan deal permanent?
Obviously, if I was a Chelsea hierarchy, yes, I would, because he's trying. This guy is giving everything. He's giving everything, and each time he gets to the game, he do change it. Yeah. So I would actually sign him. If it is me, I will sign him, because at least he has proved that he can do something. The more depth we have in the squad, the better for us.
Okay. It looks like if there's one place that there's really been a problem for Chelsea, it has to be, the attacker, the striker. Just has been linked with a lot of names. Out of all these names, who do you think you are more comfortable with?
I think, obviously, I think I said yesterday, I had they're trying to open talk with, what is his name, our boy, Victor Osimhen. Osimhen will be like the perfect touch. If you see the error this guy Jackson make now, only him and the keeper. He played the ball straight, like he passed the ball back to the keeper. He's supposed to be 3-1. This guy makes some kind of very useless kind of mistake. I don't understand. But, that is what it is. Left alone for me, obviously, I'll keep Jadon Sancho, because he's trying.
Mr. Ben, it's been a while. Good to hear from you again. And looking at Chelsea being linked to Ekikite, Lian Delap, Sesko, and maybe a little percentage on Gyakares. But we've not really heard the Victor Osimhen conversation, because Sky Sports reported today that the strikers that Chelsea are linked with, 4 of them that I've mentioned earlier. What's your take on that?
And that is the top goal, Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho with the top goal, beat the spot for Chelsea, and this Chelsea was crippled in this encounter, and it looks like Chelsea are home and dry in this one. Beautiful goal from Jadon Sancho here.
The lap. And I don't know if that should be the right move for them when Osimhen is in the market.
But the issue with Osimhen is the salary.
I mean, sometimes you make sacrifice. What you need is somebody who can be scoring the goal. You understand? Everybody is going for the guy, and we need him. Chelsea need him. Uh,
Because
Chelsea need him. So there is something that they can work it out. But as at yesterday, I understand that there's a good this thing with them. So which is fine.
okay, then but right now a lot of stories will be going back and forth. But let's just hope that at the end of the day, we get Victor Osimhen, because we need somebody like that with that attitude, that charisma, the presence that can lead this Chelsea team to victory.
Yeah, I mean, if Jackson sees somebody like Osimhen, he can actually learn from him.
Yeah, he can grow.
He can learn from him. That is the thing, and it could be a good support for him. So,
but Mr. Ben, I would like your take. If Osimhen joins Chelsea, that will be two African players leading the line for Chelsea. What about when AFCON comes up, most likely January? Yeah, December this year. It will be Chelsea missing the two number 9 at the same time.
I don't think it does. This is where I love Mourinho. I don't think it matters who is leading the line. What matters is whether the person is delivering. If the person delivers, do you really care whether it's white or black or green or yellow? All you need is somebody to give you to change the game for you.
All right, Mr. Ben is now Chelsea 3, Real Betis 1. The third goal, he has a chance for Real Betis, looking for the second goal against Chelsea, but the goalkeeper comes in out to gather that, and we can see the Real Betis player asking for a penalty, but the referee, probably VR, will be checking that. But it's 3-1. Chelsea currently lead against Real Betis in this one. I don't think that should be a penalty. But Jadon Sancho with the third goal. Just when we are talking about, should Chelsea be keeping Jadon Sancho come end of the season?
He delivers.
Yeah,
He's a good add-on. And even as it stands, it's not like I think Man U is still paying. They are still going to pay Chelsea 3.5 million because what is his name? Messi Mount win trophy, and the value of the trophy is 5 million. So what they have is 1.5. What is the? So it doesn't make. Even it's me, I'll just tell them to keep the 3.5. Don't worry, you can keep it. You can make something. If they decide to give mine, they'll sell it for 10 million.
Okay, Mr. Ben, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure having you on the program with us. We just hope to see you very soon.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ben. And that is Mr. Ben calling all the way from the United States of America. He's a Chelsea fan. While we on that score, we saw the Chelsea third goal. Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, good finish. The way he went around with taking that chance, and the way he cut back into the strong field. You know, that's Sancho position. Once you give him that space, he will bury it. We saw that against Ipswich also. And so I think that all in all, Sancho, I think now we can think of maybe making it official. 20-something million for this quality is a good bargain.
We also have Magui being thrown in by the Chelsea manager right there. He's just coming back from injury, and it's really good to see him, on the field for Chelsea. But it's not yet a done game. It's not a done game already.
Yeah, I think it's a done game for Chelsea. I actually called it because if there's anything that we score in this second half, with what I watch, it's Chelsea, and they've actually scored. But talking about Jadon Sancho, I think I was on this program maybe about 2 days ago, and I said my opinion on Jackson. If Chelsea could make the Champions League spot, they should just pay, keep him. But if they fail to make the Champions League, but they should, return him back and pay the fine. But at this moment now, Chelsea needs to keep him, because if Chelsea allows him to go back, you will need a replacement for him. And I don't know if you want to come and keep player like what's his name, Sterling, like just coming back now. I think to me, Sancho is more useful than Sterling, and you don't know the length of what's his name now? The Ukrainian guy now, Modric.
At least
You know,
18
Modric.
months. At least.
So you cannot be
18
relying
months.
on players like that. So for Chelsea now, because I don't really know if they'll be able to bring out maybe in the region of 100 million, or I mean 80 to 70 million in getting a winger, when you know you still need, your main priority is the number 9. So you need to at least, you've got, and if Chelsea were to sign Jadon Sancho now from Man U without, maybe that is if they've not had agreement before. I don't think they will be planning on paying 25 million. Man U will be demanding in the excess of at least 15 million.
There is an agreement.
Agreement already.
That is what I'm
25
saying.
million.
No, that is what I'm saying. If they didn't add an agreement before, they just wanted to sign him permanently. Now before. Man U will be demanding 50 plus million, which we know maybe he doesn't actually worth it now with what he has.
But Chelsea also paid 5 million.
Obligation to buy.
But Chelsea also paid 5 million loan fee.
Loan fee. Yes.
Apart from the 25 million, so it will round up to 30 million.
But what I'm still trying to say is that if he hadn't come on loan to Chelsea, permanently, Man U will be demanding for all this.
Okay, and also it's full time in that game between Nigeria and Ghana. It ended Nigeria 2, Ghana 1. So Nigeria will be having a date against the Reggae Boys of Jamaica in the final of the Unity Cup, and that will be coming up later on. We'll also be here in the studio to give you live analysis of that game between Jamaica. Sorry, one more bragging right for the Nigerians, defeating Ghana.
Yeah. But looking at it holistically, Shegun, the new coach, 3 games now. Your take on his performance, the setup, because they say that Sunday that will be awesome. You will know some signs from Saturday.
I think he has really tried his best with the games we've seen. He's still unbeaten with the Nigerian national team, except for that blunder, drama against what's it called? Zimbabwe. I think except from that is the only minus we've seen since enjoyed the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But good performance from him. Looking at the number of home-based players he threw into this game, and knowing that fully well that we have the Chan Cup, the Chan coming any moment from now. So I think he has really tried his best. But let's see the World Cup qualifiers. South Africa, a victory against South Africa is still needed. Then we'll have the 4th goal in this game between Chelsea and it's Moises Caicedo who has just put it into the back of the net, and it's game over in this one already. It's Chelsea 4, Real Betis 1.
It's all over.
Yeah, and you could see the impact of Jadon Sancho. In this game, he actually dropped. Took the ball and he dropped the pass, and it's already gone. Chelsea have won this one. There's no how Real Betis, even though they didn't score this 4th goal, it's done and dusted for Chelsea. I think Real Betis missed every opportunity to win this particular competition in the first half. And that's the difference between them and Chelsea. Chelsea have actually taken their chances in this second half, unlike them. So it's all over.
Wow, yeah, mate. What a game of football. At the first half, we're thinking it's Chelsea who might be losing this encounter. But a dominant performance, no doubt, in the second half. They came out in the second half and looked like the better side. And what a way to score 4 goals in the second half.
Yeah, that's the way to go. You want to announce your arrival into European competition. And you want your opponent to be aware of you that, you are coming real good. But any better team in Europe would have extra punished them with that performance in the first half. Maybe they would have been 3-0 down already. So I think that yes, they are winning this one, but there are a lot of lessons to learn from the first half also, that they can do better and they should be doing better. And what a way to cap up Caicedo's season. Top player. I think the best in his position in the Premier League this season. And yes, you have to give him a lot of credit. I don't know if Paul have another different opinion. Maybe there's another player better than Caicedo in his position this season. Paulo.
There are a lot of players
better this season in the Premier League than Caicedo in that role.
Arsenal fan. You want to talk to
No. I need to. I know. Let him answer.
He's an Arsenal fan.
No, it's not about being an Arsenal fan. Everybody has their own opinion when it comes to selecting. I think probably the Premier League player of the team of the season will definitely determine. But having said